Good morning.
Good morning.
I was going to say, did you enjoy your extra hour in bed? But Bex forgot to change her clock, so you never got the extra hour, did you?
I didn't get the extra hour. I was up super early, didn't realise, started getting ready, put my makeup on, woke the kids up. Hour early.
So, just to clarify, it is actually 9:30.
Not
so,
10:30.
No, 9:30, just in case you forgot the clocks had changed. But Bex and I have got a fantastic show for you. We've got a half-price table.
Yes, over there.
Yeah, which is great. And I like this one.
Yeah, this one's awesome as well, isn't it? Loads. I mean, all triple packs, aren't they?
Yeah, so it's basically 3 perennials in 9cm pots, but you can double up for just an extra £1 and you can mix and match.
So you can get 6.
6 for about just under £16.
Amazing.
6. And they are, I mean, there's everything there. Your Verbena, Coreopsis. Any of your favourites, Bex?
Well, I really like Philadelphus.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah. Philadelphus is amazing, isn't it?
But you might be brand new to our live stream. So if you are, I'm Shaun Ryan.
I'm Bex Edwards.
Stu is a guy that you don't see, but he's like talking to us, and actually he's in charge of the group chat. So if you want to be part of the show, we'll explain how you can actually be part of the chat. But very quickly, you get free postage when you spend over £40. If you spend under £40, we cap the P&P at $6.99 per order, and we have got a free gift.
Yeah, we have. It's the Blooming Fast.
Yes.
I mean, you guys know all about this. Our regulars certainly know about it. If you're brand new, this is the best fertiliser for your plants, and it's the perfect thing to get. I know we don't feed our plants as much during the winter, but this is something you can stock up on, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, whenever we do this as a free gift, I do stockpile. Bex does the same.
Yeah.
I've got a good shelf life on there, but it's really high in your NPK, and it's a really good all-round fertiliser, the very best in our opinion. That is worth $4.99, and that one sachet, don't think, oh, that's only a small little sachet. That makes 100 litres of premium plant food. Now, we love it when you're part of the show, don't we?
We absolutely do. I'm here. I've got everything lined up. We're ready to go. I'm on the YouTube chat right now. Good morning, Neil. Good morning, Elaine. Thank you so much for coming in nice and early. And William as well, apologies.
Yeah.
I really need to start wearing my glasses. It's a problem. It's becoming a problem. So yes, thank you so much for joining in on the chat on YouTube. Stu keeps on the Facebook chat and he lets us know what's going on in there. I've also got access, hello to Angela on Facebook, I've also got access to the emails as well.
Yes.
So if you would like to come in and ask us any questions, or more importantly, send us pictures of your gardens, that's what we really like to see. We're a bit nosy. We love to see what's going on in your garden.
We do. And the email address is ygtv@yougarden.com. So
Alison sent us one already.
Oh, brilliant. So yeah, keep all of those messages, images coming in. But we better make a start because we've got some amazing half-price deals. We've got double-up deals where you just spend an extra £1. And we've even got a few little Christmassy items, things like Amaryllis.
I know.
Yes.
I'm quite excited about all the Christmas stuff.
And
this is so cute.
Yeah, completely unrelated from gardening.
He's so cute.
Do you know what? I was in the garden centre. I do check out garden centres. They're very ready to buy, apart from obviously, food and teas and coffees. But they did have some doorstops there, and they were £40 each.
Yeah.
And I think the Scottish dog is actually nicer.
I think he's beautiful. Honestly, really thick, good quality material here. He's got a dinky little bell on the front as well, a little tongue sticking out.
It's cute as anything.
That is so cute.
But it's a proper doorstop, and he's only $14.99. By the way, if you are one of our club members, you'll notice 2 prices on the screen. One says, one's in red, the $14.99, which is a discounted price, but the one in yellow is the club price, and basically that's 10% lower. So if you become a club member today, it's £5 for the year on auto renewal, and that will give you a 10% discount on all the plants, the compost, even our little Scottish dog as well.
Yeah, I love that. Do you know what? I've still got loads of my vouchers to spend as well, because we've been broadcasting for just over a year from the potting shed as YGTV, obviously lot longer than that, but just in the potting shed for just over a year. So a lot of people are getting their renewals coming through right now. I got mine about 4 weeks ago, and I've used one of my vouchers. I've still got 3 of my £5 vouchers to be able to use. I know a lot of you are in the same position. So today, where we've got double up deals for an extra £1 or half price ones, this is where you can really bag some bargains.
Yeah. And we've also got, you may not know, but we've got an amazing selection of houseplants plants at YouGarden as well, and we've got this gorgeous Spathiphyllum, the peace lily, $4.99.
Yeah.
And I mean, you literally went into the greenhouse about 20 minutes ago and picked this one.
I did.
Do they all look that good, Bex?
They're all looking absolutely amazing. Loads and loads of flowers on them. Gorgeous foliage that you get on the peace lily as well. Super easy to look after houseplant as well, but it's just so dinky. You know, it comes in that 9cm pot. It's a really good sort of entry point. Perhaps you've never, you know, thought about houseplants, or you just want to add another one into your collection at half price. This one's an amazing one to do that with.
Yeah, it's a lovely plant. And say it's under £5 today, and that is 800-304. Right, should we go outside?
Let's do that.
Right,
There's
come and
loads
join
of
us.
colour over there, actually.
There's loads
isn't there?
of what?
Colour.
Well,
maybe not from the
that's
what you were confused
Yeah,
about. Okay, it's a lot of green on the plants.
Yes,
but
they will produce lots of colour.
Yes,
that's why I was confused. I was like, yeah, but there will be lots of colour with these. Yes, various times in the year. In fact, the first that's going to produce colour is going to be the Panza Matrix, because these are actually in bud right now, so these will be flowering in the next week or so, and we are doing a 30-pack of these for just $14.97. That is amazing value, isn't it?
Really good, yeah. And 30 of these, that's going to be absolutely incredible. They're garden ready. Garden ready is the bigger plants.
Yep.
So they're not the little plug plants. These have been grown on already. They're ready for you to plant out. And now is the perfect time to get these in the garden. As you can see, I mean, I've just picked one out that's got a bud on, but there's loads of them that have got the buds on. So these will be in flower very, very soon. And it's all about getting that autumn and winter colour.
And this variety, it's called the Matrix, it's a lot more compact. So you get really big flowers, like a lot bigger than some of the varieties, but shorter stems. So they are superb in terms of tolerating really bad winter weather. They're going to flower all winter long into spring. And in fact, we often think of pansies as just being annuals, but they are perennials. So if you want to, they will get a bit straggly by the time summer comes, but just chop them back and they will bounce back and flower the following season
but
as
these
well.
are going to stay nice and upright for you. The Matrix series have been bred to remain upright, which is what's beautiful about these. So of course we do all our cascading varieties, which are brilliant, like the Panza Cool Waves, but these would be great to maybe put in the centre of those pots or hanging baskets, because the others will tumble over the edges and these will stay nice and upright, so you get that lovely domed display.
And one of the better ones for your beds and borders for exactly the same reason. So you're going to get all 30 of those, fully winter hard. We're talking temperatures -20 and beyond, and it works out $4.99 a tray. So you get 3 trays of 10 there, 410143. But we are gonna. They're so healthy, aren't they, Bex?
Lovely, yeah. I mean, that's just one tray of 10 there, but you will get 3 of those trays. They're perfect.
And by the way, really nice weather forecast next week and the week after as well. It is where we live anyway. I don't know. Hopefully, it's the same where you are. But
it's
yeah,
good. I've still got lots of jobs to do in the garden.
Yeah,
I was doing some yesterday.
Good.
I got out in the garden, did some jobs yesterday, but I've still got all my bulbs to plant. So yeah, need some nice weather to get out.
It's a great time to get out in the garden. Right, Passifloras are next. It's a triple collection, 3 different varieties for just $14.97. Hello, Amanda, by the way.
Good morning, Amanda.
Don't you think Passifloras are one of the most exotic climbers ever? They're amazing.
So there's a dual thing here, because they remain, they keep some foliage, basically, which I think is really important. You know, I love my wisteria, but obviously it looks very bare over the winter months because it drops all its foliage. So I love the fact that this is an evergreen. But the second thing is about those multi-layered flowers, how very exotic they are. I mean, front on like that, they look amazing, but it's when you look at them from the side and you see the dimension that's involved within the Passiflora is incredible.
They're like out of this world, aren't they?
They are. They look like alien flowers, you know. They look like something out of Avatar or something, you know, that some amazing creator has come up with the design for these. And you are getting 3 different colours. So I think the 3 of these sort of planted in a space where they can intermingle with each other would create a gorgeous display. If you were to plant these along a fence and they were just able to mingle in with each other, that would look gorgeous. They're tough, they're resilient once they get established as well. There's minimal pruning that you need to do with Passifloras as well. Like, you're only ever going to remove any sort of crossing or damaged bits, but generally they're so tough, they're so resilient that it makes them very easy to grow.
And if you stay watching later on, I think we've got some footage of my mum's Passiflora.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we won't share it now, but stay watching because it's covered 3 or 4 panels of her fence and look amazing. So the white one is a Constance, isn't it? And Victoria's the pink, and then the lavender is the purple one, which is the most hardy, we should say, out of the three of them. So the purple one is most hardy, but the other two are hardy once established.
Yes.
Right, we have. Hang on, I was my anemone do right. I've got to let you in secret, right? One of these was a bit wilty because anemones don't like to dry out.
No, and this one had been allowed to dry out.
Yeah, so it's having what we call a water bath. And if you ever do have a plant that's in a pot and really dried out, I've put this just in literally a bowl of water.
Yeah.
This was on Bex's advice.
It's starting to perk up already.
It has. So just keep your eye on it. But anemones don't like to dry out. They flop when they dry out, and that one had flopped a bit. But you get all three of these for $9.97.
Yeah, I mean £3.33 just under each. That's incredible.
Good, isn't it?
I love anemones because they are sort of your transitional plant. You know, these are going to flower late summer. They'll normally into bloom by August, July and August.
Yep.
But they keep going into September and October, which is what I love about these, because we often talk about trying to get 365 days of colour, as much interest in our garden as possible, and anemones are a really good way of extending that summer season and making sure that you're getting that colour for as long as possible.
And they really do have an elegance to them. They don't need supporting, so they're generally self-supporting. I love the way they kind of gently sway in the breeze.
Yeah, they're really pretty. A couple of these have the RHS Award of Garden Merit as well. So the Prince Heinrich, which is that one, the vivid pink one, and the Queen Charlotte, which is the lighter pink. They've both got the AGM on them.
And for some reason, the white one doesn't.
I
don't know why.
I mean, it'll behave in exactly the same way, to be honest. They're a very long-lived perennial as well, so you can have these for decades in your garden. Once you've got them, you know, they can live for 20, 30 years plus.
And grades about a metre, these varieties?
Yeah, sort of about 4 feet in height, I reckon. Somewhere between 3 and 4 feet, and they'll sort of... They're not dense, are they? They meander, which I quite like, the kind of open habit to them. And
great for the pollinators as well. So you get all three of those for $9.97. So the only thing is they don't like to dry out, a bit like a hydrangea.
Oh, I need to get a sniff of the rosemary. I love the smell of rosemary. I cannot walk past a rosemary bush without doing that.
I think you need some eucalyptus today, Bex.
I know I do.
She's all bummed up. I'm a bit bummed up as well.
I don't know.
So I'm as well.
I got over one cold, and then another one came straight off the back of the other one.
There's loads around.
It's not fun.
Right. So. We'll give you the details of the rosemary, because first of all, Bex is a far better cook than me, but rosemary, fantastic herb. Imagine if you're doing roast lamb today, roast potatoes, things like that. But we forget this is a gorgeous evergreen plant in its own right, because when this flowers, it looks superb.
It is absolutely incredible. I love the flowers on rosemary.
Same here.
I think they're so pretty. Normally flowering sort of end of spring and into summertime, so around May and June time is normally when you get these. I mean, they're beautiful, gorgeous flowers. Pollinators adore them as well.
My friend Lynn, who's part of the garden club that I run, she's got a huge one of these. She's really into herbs, but she's got a huge bush of rosemary.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting in her garden, it was probably about June time last year, and it looked spectacular.
It does look spectacular.
Even if you never ever use the rosemary for culinary uses, just as an evergreen plant, it is absolutely beautiful.
It does annoy me when people let them get straggly, though. It's a bit like lavender, it annoys me when people let them get straggly, because it's such an easy thing to keep in,
I think it's easier than lavender, actually.
Yeah, totally. All you have to do is, after it's flowered, just trim it back. And that will stop it from getting, when it gets leggy and you get the gaps in it, and it just doesn't look as attractive. So in summertime, after it's finished flowering, just trim it back slightly, and that will help to maintain it and keep it nice and bushy. And then you can take the bits that you've trimmed off and you can keep those, you can dry them, you can then use it in cooking. But it's super easy.
Right, I'm ashamed to say I have not got rosemary in my garden.
Have you not? Oh, sure.
So I'm stood here thinking, we're giving you all this advice. I'm thinking, why have I not got rosemary?
No, you definitely need some rosemary.
Yeah, I'm going to buy that today.
Rosemary, thyme, bay. Those are the three sort of staple, easy herbs for you to have in your garden.
I've got thyme. I've got bay, but I don't have rosemary.
Yeah, no, you need a rosemary, definitely.
Tell me about it.
Definitely.
And at $4.99, it's a half-price deal today.
Plant it near the kitchen, though. Don't plant it on the other side of the garden where you've got to walk across it to get to it. Just from personal advice.
I've got my herbs planted outside the greenhouse, because I'm in my greenhouse quite a lot. So I always remember to take some on the way. But that's a great plant. So many uses for that. And that is 750062. Now we're going to move on to an amazing offer on our cottage garden perennial plugs. 12 plug plants, but it's a buy one, get one free. And what I'm going to do on our next live show, which is Thursday, isn't it?
Yes.
Thursday, 10 to 1. I planted some of these up about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. And then I went on a holiday, so I've not done anything with them. But it's amazing how they've grown.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I promise I'll bring them in on Thursday. But I would say they've doubled in size in the last two and a half weeks.
Have you potted them up in the greenhouse?
They're outside, actually.
Oh, you put them out?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
But all I did was put them in 9 centimetre pots with our premium professional compost. But we do recommend, I'm going to show you the size of these. Bex and I do recommend, rather than putting them in the ground, and they are winter hardy, but I would definitely put them into pots.
I think, you know what, I'm with you. Just to ensure success, I would put these up into some 9 centimetre pots, keep them, you know, in a greenhouse. You could even keep them outside, but I just think it'd be a good thing to do to ensure that success for next year. And then come the springtime, plant them out where you want them to go.
And the reason that we're saying that, and yes, they could go straight in the ground, but a lot of them will die down in the winter, so you might forget where they are.
Yeah.
You might easily, because obviously they're quite small plants at the moment, you might just forget where they are. You might end up accidentally digging them out. So, you know, we recommend just grow them on in 9 centimetre pots and then plant them out in springtime, just so you can keep your eye on them. But they're all winter hardy. It's just that, you know, with them in small plants, you don't want them to get lost in your beds and borders.
There's some amazing varieties. I mean, there's Coreopsis, there's hollyhocks, there's verbena, aquilegia, rudbeckia in there, delphiniums.
Oh, look at those delphiniums, gorgeous.
These are all named ones, are they? Or is it a
Galladia.
potential potluck?
That will give you
That's an idea,
a good
isn't
idea,
it?
but depending on what's available, you might get some other things, like you might get salvias sometimes.
Yeah, but they're all labelled on the greenhouses. So the little greenhouses that you get, there's little labels on them that relate to a letter, which matches up to the letter on the front here. So you'll be able to tell which is which. Now, top tip. Write a little label and stick it in the pot.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
Because it can. Sometimes you can definitely tell by the foliage. Like, you know, you can sort of. I can normally pick out which one's the verbena and which one's the geum and things like that. But after that, you can be struggling sometimes. And I know we've had some people send pictures saying, "I didn't label." We can always try and help, but it really does make a difference.
Yeah.
Again, from personal experience, it's good to label them.
Once they flower, it's very easy to work them out, but just when they're small.
Sometimes the foliage can be a bit tricky, can't it?
There's one day we were doing some filming and Stu and I, we got them all mixed up, and it took us about 10-15 minutes to work out. Yeah, there's a couple that we just couldn't suss. But that gives you a very clear idea of what you get. But they're all going to be fully winter hardy. They're going to come back year after year. They'll give you colour from about May right the way through to September and October. And there's some absolute favourites there. But honestly, to get 24 plants for $12.99 or $11.69 if you're our club member is absolutely amazing value. And we'll bring mine in around about on Thursday and show you how they're getting on.
Yeah,
it's great. Yeah.
Love it.
All I did was literally pop them up and then I went off on holiday, but they're doing great. And that's what Amanda does. Apparently she labels hers.
Well done, Amanda. Yeah, the thing is, you do it once and you don't label them, and then you learn your lesson, don't you? So yeah,
you
very
really
good. Do let us know if you are going for anything. Let us know in the chat. What are you thinking about buying today? If you're thinking about buying today, we'd love to know what you're going to go for.
Should say, by the way, when you receive any plants, particularly like the plug plants, do give them a quick water when you receive them, because they'll have been in the post for a day or two. All of our packaging is 100% recyclable as well.
Yeah.
Do you know, Bex, that phoenix seems to be getting bigger and bigger. Should we go to it?
Let's go and have a look. So I did say that when we brought it into
the
you did this morning, because I wasn't here on Thursday. I was off having a little break with the kids. And the size of this is actually really, really good. It's big. Yeah. And it's part of the half-price collection as well.
I sometimes wish that you did see our little chats we had before the show, because Bex she did go, wow, that's really big for the price.
One.
So how much would you pay for this? It's Phoenix canariensis, the Canary Island date palm, as it's often called. Very easy to grow in the UK, but this one will arrive this kind of size. So I would say, looking at that, what would you pay for that?
If I went into a garden centre and I saw that, I'd probably be thinking $19.99.
I was going to say, I'd say the same, about £20.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good price.
I think I'd be happy to pay that for the size that we're talking about, the fact that it's evergreen, nice and easy to look at, you know, all of those attributes. Yeah, 20 quid.
Well, if you've ever wanted one of these, or a pair, £9.99 or £8.99 for our club members, and they are between 60 and 80 centimetres. I mean, this is already really well established, but at £8.99, I mean, that's, even if you've just got like a balcony or something like that, I always think something like this just instantly creates great architecture in the garden.
I completely agree, and I've got so I've got a couple of these. I'm going to repot them. Do you remember those lovely blue pots that we did?
Yeah, the glazed ones.
They look glazed.
Yeah.
So I've got 2 of those, and I've got these that are in other pots at the moment. But I'm actually going to put them into those lovely blue pots, and they're going to go outside my front door because I think that's either side of the front door. That's going to look incredible.
They look fabulous.
Some nice white stone in the bottom of the pot as well. Oh, it's going to look so good. I'm excited.
So these actually originate from the Canaries. If you've ever been to, the islands like, Tenerife and Fuerteventura, Gran Canaria, you'll see these, and they're huge actually in their native country.
Yeah.
But in the UK, there is one that I can't remember. What's it called? There's a really weird island there. Begins with G.
I don't know.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. But you'll see them all over the Canary Islands.
It's going to annoy you now, though, isn't it?
I'm gonna have to look. Something like, God. Fuerteventura, Lanzarote, Gran Canaria. There's La Palma, and it begins with a G.
Let us know in the chat. Somebody is screaming at the screen right now, saying. I'm going onto the chat just to see if anybody's screaming at.
That's it.
Oh, Stu's done it.
What's it called again, Stu? La Gomera. That's
doesn't begin with a G at all, then.
Well, the Gomera bit does.
Gomera.
Yeah,
Gomera. Okay,
La Gomera. Sorry, it's a really quite a remote island. It doesn't matter because you don't have to go to the Canary Islands and remember the names of all of them to actually grow this in the UK.
No.
So we said about high to about -6.
About
when established.
-6, -7 once it gets established. I mean, a little bit of extra winter protection if you're expecting, prolonged lower, temperatures. But most areas of the UK, you're going to be absolutely fine and not have to do anything with it. What it is going to provide you is architecture. It's always going to look like this, no matter what. Season, it always has its foliage.
And although I would repot it just because it's a little bit top heavy,
it
doesn't need a huge pot to grow in either.
No.
They're fairly good in terms of being reasonably drought tolerant, very low maintenance. All you need to do as it gets more mature, these bottom leaves will get a bit tatty, and you get your secateurs and just chop those off. And eventually it does form like a pineapple sort of like looking
it's known
base.
as the pineapple tree, not because it grows pineapples, but just because it looks like the pineapple, because it has the foliage at the top and then this big thick base at the bottom.
But in the south of the country, they can still grow quite big. I mean, there's one on the Isle of Wight that's absolutely huge. But in sort of like the middle of the country and northern areas, they're never going to grow that big.
No.
And they're slow growing, we should say as well.
Yeah.
That's really good. I don't have this palm, I don't have it.
You don't have this one?
No.
But you've got that lovely tropical area in your garden. You should definitely have one of these.
It's
right,
right,
Rosemary
it's on the list.
and Phoenix is going on your list today.
It
Shaun.
is.
I'm spending your money for you.
It's
today.
fine. I might go for a pair of those actually. At that price. They are half price today.
At that price, definitely.
And I only have to pay £8.99 like you at home if you're a club member at 680-005. Right, what else we got, Bex?
Are we going over to this one? Yeah.
Should we go
let's go over here?
This table here, this is really good.
It's quite exciting, this table, isn't it? Oh, stop here, stop here, stop here.
The reason why we're excited is it's a mix and match. So you get 3 plants for £14.97. But for an extra £1, you can get another 3 plants. So, I've just realised, Bex, I'm quite tanned, aren't you?
I said you're looking quite tanned.
Yeah.
It's because you've been on a cruise.
I'm actually looking slightly fat as well, which is why I'm wearing black today. I was on an all-inclusive cruise.
I did eat a lot last week.
Did
as well.
you? You look.
No, I ate a lot. Near the campsite where we stay, there's this brewery, like on an industrial estate. It looks like you're walking into an industrial estate. It's a big old building. You walk in and they've got loads of taps because it's a proper brewery there, and they do stone baked pizzas in there. So it's beer and pizza. We went there twice.
Sounds like heaven.
So good.
So I'm thinking of beer.
I'm putting on the winter weight. You need a bit of extra winter weight to deal with the cold.
Exactly.
That's my excuse.
Exactly.
We're sticking with it.
But this whole section, we'll give you the details if we can, because it's basically buy 3 plants, and we've got 5 different types of perennials here. But for an extra £1, you can double up and you can mix and match.
There is actually another 2. So we've got phlox and we've got a Rigoron as well included in this deal.
So we've got Perovskea, which I've never grown, I don't mind telling you that. Philadelphus, which you both love. The Festuca, hang on now, get my words out. Festuca, rather. We've got Coreopsis and my favourite.
And the Verbena.
And then down here we've got Carpet Phlox.
Yes.
And a Rigoron.
And a Rigoron as well. So there's 7 to choose from, and you just need to choose the 2 that you like, put both in your basket, enter the code, and 1 set will only be £1.
That's really good. Yeah,
That's
the extra set's £1.
That's mental.
So Perovskea, I've never grown this one.
No, I haven't
never
either.
Have. I like the look of it.
You liked the one that we brought the last couple of weeks, so we brought you a slightly different variety. It's called Blue Spire, this one. So it's gonna behave in exactly the same way as the previous Perovskea that we brought you, Russian sage. But what I was in the potting shed with Adam while you were off on holiday, and he was talking about Perovskea being an absolutely amazing alternative, maybe, to lavender.
To the lavender, yes.
Because it likes to live in a very similar situation. You can cope with really poor soil, but it'll actually flower for longer. But it has all of the same sort of attributes of being wildlife friendly, easy to look after. You know.
So it does sound like a good alternative.
I think so. Yeah.
Because the other thing with lavender, I do love lavender, but once it gets to year 4, year 5, it's really hard to stop it from being too woody.
Yeah.
It tends to, by year 4, year 5, it tends to be past its best. So this to me sounds like a great alternative. And you're saying flowering a bit longer than your lavender?
Absolutely. So it normally comes into flower sort of midsummer time, around sort of July, but it'll keep going through August, September, October. So it'll give you a really long period of time where you'll get those flowers. It's nice and easy to look after. It's drought tolerant once it gets established. All you've got to do is a little bit of pruning, probably in springtime, just take it down and then get all of that gorgeous new growth. Wildlife absolutely adore it.
I think it's got so many pluses, and I'm presuming like lavender, it wants a really nice sunny spot.
Nice sunny spot for sure, but it can cope with poor soil. It doesn't need to be in the best kind of soil at all. It grows quite quickly as well, very hardy, just ticks every single box that you could want it to tick, and it'll even cope in more exposed positions as well, which would be great for your garden.
Great for my garden.
Yeah.
So I might try that one as well. I'm putting together quite a big basket today. So that's Perovskea, known as Russian sage, 560949. By the way, the Rosemary that we brought you earlier, that's also on my personal list today, is only $4.99, but it's selling really, really quickly today. It's half price, $4.49 if you are a discount club member. And don't forget, if you are one of our club members, have you got any vouchers that need using up? Because you always get, every time you renew your membership, you get £4 £5 vouchers that you can spend.
You get a free plant there, couldn't
you?
If you use one of your £5 vouchers.
But we're going to move on to probably one of the most, well, not probably, definitely one of the most beautiful, fragrant plants that you can have in your garden. It's the Philadelphus, known as mock orange. And I think when it comes to fragrance, this one is heavenly, isn't it?
Absolutely
it's
gorgeous.
Like, wow.
A lovely sweet citrus scent that you get from it. Obviously, that's where it gets its mock orange name from. It gets covered in these flowers sort of June, July time. So right at the beginning of summer, you're going to get all of those gorgeous flowers. Rich green foliage, which is going to be the perfect backdrop for those pure white flowers. Definitely position this somewhere where you're going to enjoy that fragrance. Likes a sunny spot, but could probably cope with a little bit of shade. Completely winter hardy. Great to use as cut flowers, actually, if you want to bring that scent indoors as well. Winter hardy, so it'll have our lifetime guarantee included on it as well. Not fussy on soil type either, so just an all-round good egg, this one.
And doesn't grow too tall, winter about 1.2 metres.
Yeah.
So relative compact, but I love the double flowers,
Look
don't
like
you?
little roses, don't they?
Yeah.
They look like little rosebuds about to open up.
But honestly, that fragrance is going to be divine, and you do get 3, and a lot of people do plant in 3s.
Definitely.
A lot of garden designers do recommend planting in 3s. It just, nature is not all about things being even, so I think 3s can work really well. Don't get me wrong, sometimes you want that symmetry, like Bex was saying, 2 of the Phoenix canariensis, one either side of your front door, things like that, but in your beds and borders, sometimes 3s work really, really well. So that's a Philadelphia Snowbell there, 510522, top recommendation today. But we're going to move on to the Festuca, the most incredible blue grass. And I will be honest, these look a bit blue at the moment, but they can honestly look a lot more blue than they are today.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you get this lovely silvery blue foliage from these, which is absolutely incredible. Really good root structure I was just showing you on there. Now, grasses have become so much more popular. They're quite incredible, the way that grasses have become so popular, because it's not just about low maintenance gardening, it's actually about sort of contrast that these can provide in gardens. Now, these don't get massive. They get to about maybe sort of 50 centimetres height and spread here. So these work great if you're going to place these sort of more towards the front of a border. They're hardy, they're tough, they're drought tolerant when they get established, they're compact, they're low maintenance, they just provide the perfect contrast both with the colour and the shape that they provide.
And you know, think about some of the other grasses you may currently have in your garden. We sold a lot of the Red Baron earlier this year, didn't we?
Yeah, and this with that would be incredible. I mean, you don't just have to pair grasses together. This is the other thing to remember. It would be a lovely pairing, the blue and the red, but don't just think about grasses have to go with grasses. They can go with so many other plants.
But I think with the wetter climate we now have in the UK, grasses just thrive in that.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, they're not. You know, some plants really have hated the wet that we've had over the last 12 months. But no, grasses are doing really, really well in the UK. But that's a lovely variety. And so when it is really in its peak and prime, the blue is incredible. Bluegrass, amazing. Now we're going to move on to our Coreopsis next. It's a lovely colour, this one, isn't it?
Bright sunshine yellow, this. I love those yellow flowers. They really do. When you see yellow and you see those sort of warmer, hotter colours, it makes you think of sunshine. So even on a cooler day, you see those bright yellow colours, it makes you think of the sun. It makes you think of warmth.
It just makes you smile, doesn't it?
Definitely. This one's an award winner. It's got the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit, so it's a proven performer. It's met all of their tests and trials, and they've deemed it worthy. It'll flower for such a long time as well. I remember my Coreopsis coming out, and it was around sort of May time it first started blooming, and just with a little bit of deadheading that I did throughout the summer, it just kept going all the way through, right the way through till September time. It's super low maintenance as well, so I do just do a little bit of deadheading, and that's about all I do.
And is yours still going, or is it sort of like stopped now?
No, it's stopped now, but it can go right the way through to October time. Mine sort of stops in about September, only because, to be honest, mine isn't in the sunniest position. It's right in the border. My borders tend to be a bit shady.
So as the light levels kind of started to dip a bit, it stopped.
I think if I had it in a nice sunny position, I would still be getting flowers now.
Well, when you move Bex and you get a south-facing garden, you'll be all right, won't you?
Well, this is the problem. I've got a south-facing garden, but it means that the borders are, because the sun's on the house, it's not on the borders, which is the frustrating bit about it.
But it's a great perennial, so really long flowering,
robust,
really pretty,
easy. Pollinators love it.
And you get all three of them for $14.97. And then our final one on the table right now is the Vanda Banerian.
Now, my verbena is still looking incredible.
That is.
It still looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And I was in the Peak District last week, and there's this wonderful deli I go to in Hathersage called Coleman's Deli. If you're ever in the Peak District, go to Coleman's Deli. Outside of Coleman's Deli, they've got these raised planters, and do you know what they've got? They've got Vanda Baneriensis, and they've got, oh my God, I've forgotten the name of it, my other favourite purple one, the little one. Ball's mauve, thank you. Ball's mauve planted down the bottom, and then these beautiful Vanda Baneriensis poking out the top. I should have taken a picture, because I tell you what, they looked absolutely incredible.
And that's clever planting, because both of those flower for such a long period.
Such a long time, and
really
they look amazing, and they still look amazing right now. And they start flowering right in, June time, early June. These will be flowering, and they're still going right now and looking incredible.
And stay watching, because we've got some footage of it in my garden and Bex's garden. But yeah, mine have flowered June, July, August, September. They're still looking great in October. And even what I did last year, I left the flowers, the dead flowers on all over winter, because they still look quite attractive and they're great for the insects and things. But mine all self-seeded, so I ended up with about 100 free plants.
I've got random ones popping up in pots.
Yeah.
Like on the other side of the garden, it's planted over there, and over there I've got the pots, and those ones popping up in the pots. Yeah. They're great.
Now, if you have just joined us, by the way, We've been here since 9:30 because the new times right now are 9:30 till 12:30. So do bear that in mind. We're still live also on a Thursday from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock as well. Both got some great offers. The free gift today is your Blooming Fast worth £4.99. And also don't forget free postage when you spend over £40 as well. And do join the club today if you're not a club member, because you can save 10% on your order, and you can do that every single time you shop. But I did mention that I've got verbena in my garden. It's one of my absolute favourites. So this gives you an idea of how it can really transform your garden, and how, unlike some other plants that can be quite thuggish and take over, verbena is transparent, so you can actually see through it. It looks amazing. Have a look at this. Well, this edge of my patio looks a little bit severe and harsh, I think you'll agree. But if I take you around this side, I actually planted last year Vanda Banerian, and I just love this because you still get the view, but it softens the whole border. And I just adore these like pom-poms of purple. And it's a massive one for the pollinators as well. You get so many bees just dancing around here. But Vanda Banerian, it's often known as a transparent plant. And what it does, it really highlights other plants in your beds and borders without dominating. You can always see through it. You've got these lovely kind of, I always call them like plants that look like they've done Pilates, because you've got these long, lean kind of stems and side stems, and there's these little purple pom-poms on the edge of every one. So they never block, they never dominate, they never overtake, but they complement all the other plants in the garden. Now, these are in full flower right now. Last year, I let them go to seed. I want to show you what's happened. So if you come and take a look down here, I mentioned that I let these go to seed last year. They look really attractive during the winter, but look, there are now hundreds of mini Vanda Banerian. Look, loads and loads of these. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to dig these up and I'm going to plant them all the way around the garden. So imagine what I've got here. I can have the other side of the patio, and then I really want, that border's a bit dull over there, so I'm just going to plant dozens of Vanda Banerian, and I think it's going to look great. And all these plants were free just from the seeds from these. I mean, you can see why I love that Vanda Banerian so much. And so all the little babies this year, so I've got about 100 free plants. Does love a sunny position, so you can see that it gets a lot of sun where it is, but very, very easy to grow. And remember, that's part of the double up mix and match. So basically, 3 plants for £14.97. For an extra £1, you can get 3 more. And you can mix and match, or so we've got the verbena, the Coreopsis there, our lovely
Festuca, the bluegrass.
I don't know why I can't say that today. The Philadelphus as well. We've also got still to come. We have got carpet phlox in the deal.
Yeah, and the Origaron there as well, that beautiful sea of blossom. So you can pick any of those 7. Just choose the 2 that you would like, put both of them into your basket. Enter the code YGTV4324, because that's how you're going to get those extra savings. What's Stu put in his basket?
So Stu's put the Proscia there and the Philadelphia Snowbell, the mock orange. And you can see there, currently $36.93.
We can do better than
we can apply the code.
Oh, look at that. $22.96. Is that right?
And you get your free gift as well.
Oh, very nice.
We should say delivery is $6.99 per order, but do you know what I'm thinking? If you put some compost in there as well.
Yeah, that'd get you to over the £40,
yeah, it would.
wouldn't it? And then you get your free postage. And the thing is, even if you're not going to use the compost right now, you're going to use it at some point.
Yeah, of course you are. And there you go. So suddenly,
look at
see,
that.
I sneaked that order over £40.
Very
Suddenly you save £69 postage. So it does make sense. If you can get your order to over £40, so you will save on your P&P as well. But we love it when you are part of the show. Don't forget, you can chat live on YouTube, you can chat on Facebook, and you can email our messages, of course, or your messages, I should say, to us here in the potting shed.
So Neil, who probably isn't watching now, now, but he's going to watch back later. So hello to you, Neil. I
Hello.
hope you enjoyed your walk. He's going for a walk. He's joining the walking group for a 9-mile walk in the sunshine. We'll catch the show later.
great.
Save me some plant bargains. Elaine is saying good morning.
Morning, Elaine. Morning.
William is there as well, asking Stu whether he's a keen gardener. Stu's getting into it. He's quite good now.
I mean, his wife is actually the gardener.
She is.
Yeah, but Stu, I've seen Stu's garden. He's got a nice garden, actually.
But you can't be doing this every single week and not pick up on some stuff.
No.
So Stu's definitely expanding his knowledge for sure.
And he's definitely getting lots of houseplants.
Hello, Verna, and hello, George.
Hi, George.
I think I said William already, so hello to you all. Thank you very much for joining in on the chat. On Facebook, we've got Amanda and we've got Angela on there as well. Hello. Angela is saying her mock orange has flowered 3 times this year already.
Wow.
That's amazing. That's really good.
I must admit, I've had some random things happen in my garden as well. You know, things that have repeat flowered and that don't normally.
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
I like it.
I do.
I like it when you get a weird, unusual thing happening.
You're not going to complain if something flowers again, are you?
Philip and Dingo are there on Facebook too, and Amanda's talking about putting a Phoenix Canariensis into the square April planters, which would look really nice.
Yeah, I've got those April planters, and they are really nice.
Yeah, very good.
Nice. Who else has come in the chat? We've not
I
mentioned
think
them.
Eleanor has just arrived in the chat as well. Yes, hello, Eleanor. Good morning to you as well. Thank you very much for coming in and joining us. Let's have a little look in the emails, shall we? Alison sent the first email this morning.
So again, if you want to send in any pictures, it's ygtv@yougarden.com.
So Alison sent us pictures of what's looking good in her garden. These pictures were taken yesterday. That is that beautiful rose, isn't it?
Yeah.
What was that one called? I can't remember. That was a beautiful one. That gorgeous... We call it blue, but it's not blue, it's purple. Do you remember? I can't remember the name. Love that colour, though.
God,
Look at
what
that.
was it called?
Stu's going to find it. I mean, my brain is rhapsody in blue.
Yes.
Well done.
We knew it was something blue.
Unfortunately, my knowledge is not encyclopedic. My brain is not encyclopedic.
Do you know what I kept thinking? Because I make like word association, I kept thinking, right, it's something to do with Queen. Because I was thinking Bohemian Rhapsody. So
Yeah.
I just couldn't quite get it. Now Nadine's.
Yeah,
Narine's rather.
Nadine's.
God, do you know what I'm
getting?
getting? Do you know what? This morning I can't get any words out. So
Look at those.
I've actually got Narine's flowering in my garden right now. And do you know what? I'd completely forgotten about them. And suddenly they burst into flower, and they're amazing. And they do flower. I mean, they look like they should be flowering midsummer, but Narine's always flower October time, November time. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Gerberas.
Lovely gerberas. Love the colours on those gerberas. They're looking really pretty.
So I'm just laughing. It's like
Nadine's.
my brain should be so much better today, but it's not.
Extra hour sleep isn't helping at all.
It's not. So
what else have we got
gerberas.
there?
Did we see those
Stu,
gerberas, by
hang
the
on.
way? Hang on, I don't think we saw them, Bex.
We didn't see them. There we go.
Here we go.
There's the gerberas.
And was this taken today?
Yesterday, she said.
Yeah.
Pictures just taken yesterday.
The hardy gerberas are
They're
amazing,
aren't they?
Yeah.
They flower for such a long time.
And they will have started probably May time, and they're still going on now. They're on our website, by the way, hardy to about -8.
And oranges and lemons, that beautiful
Remember
rose
this
there,
one.
the oranges and lemons. Absolutely adore the colour combination.
Yeah.
On those.
And if you remember, this is a rose we brought you several times during the year, but every rose is different on that one because that's jumping gene. So some are more orange, some more yellow, but they're all unique. Amazing.
Amanda, so she says, here's the pics. There's one pic of the Rudbeckia, which Bex knows about the incident with my table. Bless you, Amanda. She knocked him off and... What was it that happened to the table, Amanda? Something happened, but you knocked them off, basically, and they went splattering, so you were trying to rescue them, weren't you? They seem to have recovered, which is brilliant. So, they're small pictures, so I'm going to have to zoom in. Oh, look, there we go. That one's not a Rudbeckia, though, is it?
That looks like I thought that looks like the geranium.
Could be. Anyway, let's scroll through these ones. Oh, there we go. There's some more.
I thought that was a Roseanne there, but I couldn't quite see.
There's a verbena in there, for sure. I love your use of the flora tub there, look, just to put it in place. Oh, there we go, look, there's more perennials planted up. I love your reusing the pots as well, Amanda.
Yeah.
It's what we all do, absolutely. Hang on, birds of prey you've put in there, but there's... I don't know if some things aren't loading because it's coming up with question marks. I'll have another little look. Oh, here we go. Hi, Stu, I'm sending it. I'm not sure if the images went through. They didn't, Amanda, but I sent another one. So here is her bird of prey, which we've actually got today.
Yes.
Oh, so she already had one doing really well, so she's bought another one.
Wow.
Is what's happened. And they are looking very, very healthy.
And we have got the bird of paradise on the show, haven't we?
We have
Yeah,
indeed,
the Strelitzia.
Strelitzia regina.
Oh, I've got a couple of those, and I've never got them to flower. But I'm hoping this next year they might, because they've got to a good size now.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, here we go. The pictures have come through better this time. Hang on, let me just go onto this email. These are better.
Ah, here
These
we
are
go.
much better. So here we go. Here are the cottage garden perennials, including the Rudbeckia, which, yes, there was an incident where the pot was on the table and it went off the table and she was a bit worried, but it does look like it is going to be okay.
They all look really healthy, don't they?
They do, don't they?
Yeah. And they are on the show,
that.
by the way, so if you want to go for those perennials, they are on the show.
There we go.
So it's just so nice, isn't it, when you buy the plug plants and you nurture them and you grow them all.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love watching them grow. It's
I think
exciting.
I am a bit of a bargain hunter when it comes to gardening. I don't like to waste money. I like my money to go as far as possible. And when you buy things like the plug plants, you grow them, and you save a fortune, but it is that journey that is so incredibly rewarding as well. But sometimes, having said that, it is nice just to buy something that's established.
Yeah.
So, something like the Agapanthus, because this is a big beauty. I mean, this is huge.
I mean, if you want something established, this
will be
is
years old.
definitely an established plant. And the great thing here is because it is established, it means you're going to get flowers straight away, I mean, next year, obviously. This one, most of them are faded now. But sometimes when you buy a baby Agapanthus, you're waiting several years for you to get flowers from it.
Yours has never flowered.
Shush. When you buy something more established, you're not having to wait for that. And I think that's one of the mistakes I made with my Agapanthus. I bought a baby one, and then I was expecting it to flower, and it didn't flower. That also put it in the wrong place. So, look, it's very simple when it comes to Agapanthus. They like their roots restricted. They like a hug. So don't be tempted to put them into too big a pot. Keep them in a smaller pot so that their roots are nice and restricted, and that way they will give you flowers.
And they do originate from Africa, so guess what? They love a really sunny spot.
They
so
do
as much
indeed.
sun as possible, well-drained soil, and they'll do very, very nicely. And this one is a big variety. I mean, we bring you several types of Agapanthus, but this is the really tall, dramatic one.
Yeah, we're talking, 3 feet, 4 feet in height that these stems can get.
So they can get a
Look
lot
how-
taller than this, we should say.
That is so strong. Feel that stem. That is so strong, so sturdy. And of course, once you get this even more established, you can get multiple flower heads on here.
And they do make the most amazing cut flowers. A lot of the top florists will sell Agapanthus as a cut flower, and you do pay a premium. But they are an absolutely magical plant to have in your garden. They're so dramatic, they're so striking, and so incredibly beautiful. But they do, say if you buy a smaller one, it could take you a little while to get it to flower. This is a really big Agapanthus blue in a 20 centimetre pot. Some of them are still in flower right now, which is quite incredible, but please don't expect them to arrive in flower. Now we are heading into November, Bex.
Yeah. I mean, it's surprising that we've still got a flower on this one, to be perfectly honest with you. But yeah, get this one planted now, and then next year you'll get several flower heads from this. And of course, as it gets more established, you'll get even more.
I actually really like the foliage on an Agapanthus.
I do.
You?
And it doesn't get too tatty either.
No.
Sometimes the foliage on plants like alliums and things like that, it can get really tatty, but this not so much at all.
But for that price, to get an Agapanthus of this size and quality is incredible. Normally $34.99, down to $19.99. If you're our club member, your price today is only $17.99, 680 130. Now this year, let's be honest, it was a challenging year for us gardeners, wasn't it? It wasn't the best of summers. We're not going to try and pretend it was. So it wasn't a great summer, but certain plants did amazingly well this year, and hydrangeas, I would say, top of my list right now, because they loved, hydrangeas love a moist environment, so all that extra rain we saw the best hydrangea displays probably ever this year, didn't we?
Absolutely. I mean, look at this price. Wowzer. It's a third off. We're down to £9.99 for something that's going to perform year after year after year in your garden. You get these gorgeous plumes of flowers from here. Compact plant, but large flowers. So this is going to get to maybe about 80 centimetres. So we're talking maybe 3 feet height and spread. So wonderful in a border, but actually great if you want to keep this in a large pot, in actual fact, because it's a nice compact plant. But you still get those gorgeous panicle plumes of flowers on here. Repeat flowering in the summertime, so June, July, August, you'll get these on here. And it's not just about the flowers, actually. The foliage is super interesting. There's sort of finely serrated edges to the leaves, really deep, thick veining on there as well, which is really interesting. The flowers look great as cut flower displays, but they also look fantastic when you leave the spent heads on there as well. They look really interesting.
And you've got lovely different sort of like tones in there. So sometimes they look a little bit white, creamy, green, even like the odd sort of like touch of pink in there as well. And they people sometimes worry about pruning hydrangeas, but the paniculatas always flower new growth, so you don't, if you do have to cut back, sometimes if it gets a bit out of shape, do not worry, don't be too scared of pruning, because it always flowers on the new growth as well. But it's a beautiful plant, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Absolutely adore it.
And what a lot of people are doing, and I haven't done it yet, but I've got plans, whole borders of hydrangeas. In fact, our head gardener, Peter McDermott, I saw one of his borders, and it's not this exact hydrangea. I think he got the Incredible, but he did a whole border of hydrangeas with Geranium Roseanne.
Oh, nice.
And it looks so good. So, you imagine this on mass. So if you buy, at this price, you might buy several of them, fill a whole border, and it will look spectacular. That's what I would do. You talked about doing that as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I love the idea of a full border of hydrangeas. Not necessarily just one variety, but multiple varieties.
Yes.
It look beautiful, and they look so good for such a long time. And of course, as Shaun said, with our weather, it could be amazing.
They love a moist soil. I always think my hydrangeas do best in kind of like part sun, but not too much. It's because you don't want them to ever dry out, but very easy to grow and fully winter hardy as well. Right, you like this one, don't you?
I do like the peace lily.
Yeah.
I also love that Scotty dog.
Yay!
He's so cute. Really, he's a doorstop basically, so really good weight. He's 1.5 kilograms here. The fabric is really thick as well, so really high quality. Very, very cute. Amazing price as well. You were saying in the garden centres, these can go for a lot of money.
I saw something similar in a garden centre this week, and it was £40.
Yeah.
And I actually don't think it looked as good as our Scotty dog.
Oh, he's so cute.
Really cute. And a great Christmas gift as well. I know he is quite heavy, he has put on a bit of weight.
Yeah, but he needs to be, because he's a doorstop.
Exactly.
And obviously this is why they've used really heavyweight material on here as well. It needs to be good material if you're going to keep it on the floor, which is where it's going to live.
Now, we should say he isn't fire retardant, so don't put him near an open fire or something like that. So he's not fire retardant, but he's designed to just keep those doors open. He's a doorstop. It's lovely. He's got a little bell as well. It's gorgeous, isn't it?
Great price.
Such a great price and a great Christmas gift as well. Right, down you go. You behave.
I know what we do here is we bring you a lot of outdoor plants, but it's really nice to bring you some indoor plants, because we do a massive range of indoor plants here at YouGarden. In fact, if you watch us on TikTok, you'll see a lot more about the indoor plants as well. And this one is a really, really cute variety here that we've got. Look at that root system on there. This is the Spathiphyllum, the Cupido peace lily. So it's a slightly smaller variety. Amazing quality of plant there. It will get a bit bigger, so can get up to probably 60-70 centimetres height and spread here, but it's really easy to look after. What I find with peace lilies is nice bright room, not direct light. You don't want to put it right in a window because it can scorch the leaves a little bit, but it's super easy to look after, because this one actually tells you when it needs watering, which I really enjoy, because it can be a bit tricky with certain houseplants, can't it? Some
houseplants show the same symptoms with underwatering and overwatering, so sometimes it's hard to work out whether you've underwatered, overwatered. This one, a bit like a hydrangea, the moment it needs a drink, it lets you, it just flops basically.
Just goes all droopy.
Yeah.
All the foliage just goes like this.
Yeah. And don't panic if that ever happens. If you forget to water and you suddenly look at it, oh look, my peace lily is really floppy. I would say within about an hour of watering, they come back, don't they, to life? You can almost watch it happen. Yeah. It's quite incredible. So if it does start to go all droopy, you just give it a good drink and sit back, and within an hour, it starts to perk straight back up again. It's brilliant. Now, people often ask me with peace lilies, when we've had them on the shows, when do they flower? And from my own experience, mine are they flower for many, when they're happy, flower for many months of the year, but mine tends to be a bit random. It goes through phases. You know, sometimes it's like flower, flower, flower. Sometimes it stops.
And they'll naturally go a little bit dormant over the winter time, so you probably won't get as many flowers over the winter time. But yeah, to be honest, this can flower throughout the year at any point.
And do you find the flowers last a long time as well?
Ages. Absolutely ages. And once they're spent, they just go a little bit brown and tatty, and then you just take it down to as low as you can get, trim it off. It'll encourage more to come through. But honestly, the flowers can last weeks. 6, 7, 8 weeks even. It's a
gorgeous plant. And a friend of mine got divorced and treated himself to peace lily, and he's very happy, and so is the plant. I don't know why I'm telling you that. But it brought him peace.
Brought him peace.
Yeah.
There you go.
His divorce and the plant. 800 304 for the Spathiphyllum there. Now, just quickly as well, I know we're busy this morning. Thank you so much. We love doing our live stream from the potting shed. Bex and I have been here together now for
just over a year.
Yeah.
14 months now it'll be.
Yeah, we started in August, didn't we?
Yeah.
And it's just so lovely to have so many of you regularly join us. And the great thing about the live stream is that, you know, if you can't join us live, you can always stream later. This will be uploaded on YouTube after the show finishes. You can find all the previous shows on our website, of course, as well. But the best-selling product at YouGarden, without fail, every single week is our premium professional compost. And we have been bringing this for many, many years. We'll tell you about the ingredients in a second. But, those are the Cottage Garden perennials that I potted up.
Oh, are they?
So, go back. There we go. So those are the ones on the show that I potted up a few weeks ago, and they've literally doubled in size. But this is compost that I use at my garden, the pub garden. Bex uses it in her own garden. But most importantly, it's the compost used here at the nursery. So anything that we grow here at the nursery, anything that we pot on, is always grown in this premium professional compost. But you can see that, doesn't it look so good?
It does,
The texture is amazing.
This is what I really like. Whenever I open a bag of this, I'm never disappointed. It looks and feels very different to any other compost that I've ever opened in the past. You know, it's got this lovely sort of light, fibrous texture to it, and that's really important for root development and growth. A major part of getting really good quality plants is that root development, and a major part of that is access to oxygen. It's so important, and that lovely light texture does allow those roots to spread first of all, but have access to oxygen. We've got peat in here, we've got light and dark peat, we've got a renewable source of peat with the sphagnum moss peat. We've got all sorts of other ingredients though as well.
You've got the slow release fertiliser, that's the little green balls, that will give you feed for 5 to 6 months. You've got a wetting agent. You might think, hang on, I don't need that in the winter, but actually on a windy day in the winter, pots and hanging baskets can dry out, and that wetting agent means that when you do re-water your pots and your hanging baskets, they rehydrate very, very quickly. It makes the water stick to the compost, and you've got a pH buffer, so it's perfect for all plants apart from the really acid-loving ones. Things like your camellias, your rhododendrons would need an ericaceous compost. You get 2 big bags, 50 litres in each, and that is delivered free of charge as well.
That's amazing as
it
well.
It really is. And actually, if you just do the maths, for club members, £22.48, and you will get your free blooming fast worth £5. So it brings the price down to about £17.50 for 100 litres. In real terms, which is phenomenal value for money. And I'm not going to get political talking about peat. But our head gardener, he's done a lot of research, and the bottom line is that a lot of the peat-free composts are maybe not performing as well as we'd hope. And don't get us wrong, we all want to move towards peat-free, but a lot of the peat-free composts are maybe not performing as well as we hoped.
No.
And also you've got to look at coir. You know, a lot of peat-free composts are made of coir, but you've got to look at the journey of the coir. Where's that come from? The shipping involved in that.
Yeah, we don't grow coconuts here, do we?
We don't. And also, a lot of coconut farming, so to speak, huge areas are just planted with coconut, and again, mass planting like that isn't actually that great. So it's a complex situation, and yes, we do want to move towards peat-free, but maybe we're not quite there yet. So there's still an element of peat in here, but we have reduced the quantity over many years. Now, something that I've been using recently is our ornamental bark, and we've got a half-price deal on this, so it is down today.
Have you done the area under your tree yet? Because that's what you're talking about doing.
I did do the pub. I did 2 containers at the pub.
Right.
I haven't done the area under the tree, only because I need to replace the fence, first of all, behind it. But I did, there's 2 planters at the pub garden that I look after that really do look, well, here they are. And they were very hard to... it's really hard to grow plants around those euonymus specks because they just suck everything out of that container.
They do, yeah.
So to be honest, I've just given up, and what I've done is I've tidied the whole planter up using the ornamental spruce, and it looks great.
It does. It looks really neat. And of course, the other benefit that you've got from doing that is that it's going to stop any pesky little weeds from rooting into those pots as well, isn't it?
Yes.
You know, it really does reduce the amount. I can't say it'll completely get rid of it, but it reduces the amount of weeds that can grow in those areas. It's great if you want to put it into your borders and things, particularly if you've got deep borders that you need to step into, because it means you're not going to get muddy shoes and things. And of course, it is going to give any tender plants that extra little duvet of protection, that extra bit of winter warmth that they might need.
But it's a great product. I know when we watched that clip of film earlier, Bex, you said how much you loved it.
I do. I think it's great. It looks so neat and so tidy.
It looks so much better. And it stops me from having to, you know, say weed those 2 big containers. But I am going to do underneath my eucalyptus tree. I just haven't got around to it yet. It is half price. I know Elaine's gone for several of these. Great just as a top dressing for your pots and containers, but great for the bigger areas. And did you say about children's play areas, Bex? Yeah,
no, I didn't. But yeah, I think it's a great idea if you've got children's play areas and stuff, just to put that down. And I love the idea of not getting, because you know when you walk across anywhere across the garden at the moment, it's just constantly muddy on your feet. If you've got this in pathways, it can look really pretty.
I was so annoyed. I walked across one of my borders the other day, and then I trampled mud all over the patio, and it was so annoying. Yeah. So it's a brilliant multi-purpose item, 100,061.
And no postage on that one as well. So if you want to get multiples of your free gift, this is a good way of doing it. So if you're thinking about buying 3 bags of mulch, for example, just place those orders in 3 separate orders, and you'll get 3 bags of your free gift. So there's £15 worth of free gift right there.
But it's a really attractive bark mulch as well.
Love
it's
it.
Really nice. Right, we've got so much to show you. We're going to go back to some of the favourites right now.
Let's do it.
Loads of half-price offers. So if you missed the beginning of the show, we now stream on a Sunday, 9:30 till 12:30. So slightly different hours for the winter. They will change in the springtime. And we are live also on a Thursday, 10 o'clock till 1 o'clock as well. But we're going to go back to the Cottage Garden Perennial Collection. These are ones that I potted up a few weeks ago. 12 fantastic plants, but you get another 12 free. And this is pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? Indicative of what you'll get.
Yeah, so there's some really amazing varieties that you're potentially going to get. There's Coreopsis, Aquilegia, Vanda Banerian. We've got...
Aquilegia down there.
Yeah, Coreopsis, hollyhocks in there. We've got Delphiniums in there. We've got Rudbeckia. Oh my word, Rudbeckia is still looking amazing right now, isn't it? That's a great one to have in your garden.
Geums, Gaillardias.
So much colour, so much... difference in height and structure. I mean, it's just a border in a box, basically.
And the thing is, you can actually buy one of these perennials next year in a 2-litre pot and spend £9.99 on it easily for one of them. But if you're really clever and savvy, buy them as plug plants, pot them up right now. And we are suggesting you put them in pots. I mean, you could put them in the borders. They're winter hardy, but they might get lost because they obviously are quite small size right now. So grow them on. And then next year, you put them in your beds and borders and you'll have saved an absolute fortune. So I planted these about 2.5 weeks ago and they've doubled in size. Yeah. They really have.
It's amazing how quick they will actually establish. Yeah. And it is a buy one, get one free, so now's a really good time to get hold of those. As Shaun said, if we were to pot those on and grow them on and then bring them to you next year, the cost of that would be so much more than you are paying here today, and the buy one, get one free. So all you have to do is put one in your basket, enter the code, the other lot will enter your basket free.
So I'm doing the maths here. For club members, it works out less than 50 pence
less
a
than
plant.
50p a plant, yeah.
Yeah, and even if you're not in the club, it's still around about 50p a plant, just over. So amazing value. And as gardeners, and I know some of you are very experienced, some of you are new to gardening, but they are very easy to grow, and that journey, it's just, I mean, we both love a sick plant, actually. Because
I do love a sick plant. I love a plant rescue.
We sort of we love that journey, and these are not sick plants, these are really healthy plants, but they will take on that journey of growing them from a plug plant to a massive perennial. Yeah. And it's lovely to see that development. It's very, very rewarding. Now, we've also got for you, this is on my list today, the Rosemary.
Got to do it.
Now, I always think the title of this one, Miss Jessup's Upright, sounds quite formal. But this is...
I need to cook a roast tonight now. That's it. I'm gonna have to go and buy a chicken. I'm gonna make a roast. Oh,
that smells so good, doesn't it?
I love the smell of rosemary. I love it in cooking, but I also just love it as a plant in my garden. Yeah. It's a great one. It's evergreen, it's bushy, it's beautiful. It creates these gorgeous flowers on there as well in sort of May and June time. In its own right, it's an incredibly attractive plant for you to have in your garden. It's winter hardy, it's drought tolerant when it gets established. It's evergreen, so it always looks good in your borders. But then you've got the added benefit of being able to go out, cut sprigs off it at any time and then use that in your cooking.
I mean... So I'm standing here thinking, why do I not have rosemary in my garden? So this is on my list right now. And I love rosemary as a herb, but just as a plant, same with one of my friends, Lynn, has got a huge one of these. It's been in her garden many, many years, if not decades. And I remember it in flower last kind of May, June, and it looked amazing. Yeah. It looks so beautiful. So if you want to go for that, it's 8:30, 750-062. Then we have got our hardy anemone collection, and we were saying earlier, this is a great one to bridge that gap as other things are dying down and lots of perennials have kind of done their job. This starts to flower kind of July, August, right the way through into October and even November. Fully winter hardy. 3 gorgeous anemones, 2 of which have got the RHS Awarded Garden Merit.
Yeah, so you've got the Whirlwind, which is the white, Prince Heinrich, which is the sort of brighter pink colour, and you've got the Queen Charlotte, which is the lighter pink colour, which has got the RHS AGM as well. They're so easy to look after. Honestly, about 3-4 feet height and spread you get on these. They're just beautiful. Winter hardy as well, so they have our lifetime guarantee.
The only thing is they don't like to dry out. It's revived.
It's really perked up.
Sorry, by the way, if you're wondering why one's in a pot.
Cannot believe how much. Well, I can believe, honestly. So unfortunately, it dried out. You know, it's been left outside, and there hasn't been anybody here for a few days, so it had unfortunately dried out. But Shaun took it out of the pot, put it in a little water bath, and it is properly perked back up again. That shows you how good those are.
They're great. I don't know why we don't have more anemones in the UK, because you don't see them in every single garden, but they are brilliant. They really are. Right, we've moved on to the Passiflora now, because this is a triple collection, and again, 1497, 550286. One of the most exotic climbers you'll ever see. They are out of this world.
They are out of this world. The 3, I mean, they're all 3-dimensional. All flowers are 3-dimensional, but just you get multiple layers on these flowers. You know how the depth of each flower is actually quite incredible. They're exotic. They're lush. They're evergreen as well, but they're super hardy. Once you get these established, these are really tough and resilient. They are going to cover walls, sheds, fences, trellises, obelisks, arches, pergolas. They do quite like restricted roots, though. This is something I would suggest. So maybe if you're wanting it to grow up something, it's a good idea to keep it in a pot and then allow it to go up somewhere, because then it's just more likely to do better and flower more if you keep those roots slightly restricted. They love a nice sunny position. They are winter hardy. They're going to flower for you for ages as well. So they normally come into bloom in around sort of June time. So probably about early June, July, August, and into September as well. Multi-layered flowers, and actually this is something that we never normally talk about with Passiflora, is that they do have these lovely sort of little plum-sized fruits that appear on them in hot summers, not every single time, but you do get these fruits that come on there. We don't always eat them, they're more for the birds than anything else, but they're quite interesting because there's always something for you to look at. You're going to get all 3 as well. There's the Lavender Lady, which is the more purple blue one. That's the most sort of winter hardy of all of them. You've got the Victoria, which is the pink coloured one, and you've got Constance Elliot, which is the more white coloured one. I like the idea of planting these where they can intermingle into each other.
And the lavender is the most hardy out of those, but the other 2, when established, are winter hardy as well. Right, then we've also got some amazing pansies for you right now. These are known as Panza Matrix, and we've got lots of different pansies available, but these are the most upright, so great for like the centre of pots and hanging baskets. They're not going to trail, great for beds and borders, and big flowers on these. They're one of the largest flying pansies. They're called Britannia because they're red, white and blue, but the red, it's a deep red, isn't it?
It's like very deep, sort of burgundy colour.
And they will flower all winter long. 410143. Now, I've just had a question. How do you order online? It's very easy.
Yeah, we'll show you.
Yes. So you go to YouGarden.com. if you want to browse everything that's in our live stream right now, you go to YouGarden Live, you press live now. If you're watching on a phone, that logo may be down the bottom of your screen. But there we go, there's the show right now. There's Bex in a rainbow jumper. These are all the items. We've still got loads coming, of course. And it's just really easy. If there's anything you like, you just click on add to your basket. One thing that is very, very important though, is that you always need to use the offer code. So what might happen is you put items in your basket and they may look more expensive than we've said. So all you need to do is put in the offer code today. There's only one. That's
Surely
good, isn't it?
That's not right.
It's only a trial pack, but that's really good, isn't it?
That's really good.
Yeah. So don't forget, whatever you're adding to your basket, just make sure you put the offer code in today, and that will unlock all of the various promotions. Or if you've got the items, maybe somebody that writes them down. So like the Rosemary is 750062, and it will appear, and you just add that to your basket. But as I say, sometimes, now we've already got our offer code in the basket, which is YGTV4324. So that's unlocked all the promotions, and you will get a free gift with every separate order today, which is the Blooming Fast, which is worth $4.99. If you haven't got your free gift in your basket, that means you haven't put the offer code in. So there it is, YGTV4324, apply the code, your free gift goes in there, and all of the promotions will be unlocked there. Now, Bex, we've still got loads to come, haven't we?
So much more, yeah. I'm going to go and change the table over so we can show them some more things.
We've got some Christmas offers, haven't we?
Yeah, we've got 3 different packs of amaryllis down there. We've got some lovely little basket fillers down there as well. So lots to show you.
And what I'm going to do is remind you of some of the highlights. Oh, a lot of you have been asking about pots. We have got some special offers coming up on pots as well, because Bex and I, we love our container gardening, don't we?
I do, love
Oh,
it.
yes, and
One
I
of
know
my
you do
favourite
too.
things.
But let's remind you of Verbena. So this is the Verbena in my garden, and I'm very lucky to have those views. But believe me, my garden's quite challenging because of the high winds and stuff, and I do live surrounded by sheep in the middle of nowhere. But the Verbena looks amazing, and it's one of the, for me, it's one of the best perennials you can have in your garden. It's great for pollinators. It's long flowering, starts flower kind of like June time, and it's still in flower right now. And if you leave the dead flowers on over winter, I mean, they actually look quite attractive, but you may well find, like I did, that this reseeded, and I got loads of free plants basically. Now this is part of our double up for £1 mix and match. So you get 3 plants, but for an extra £1, you get another 3. But you can choose from 7 different plants in the offer, including the Coreopsis Early Sunrise. Now this is another long flowering perennial. Starts around about June time, could still be in flower September, October as well. Great for the pollinators, and actually would look really nice next to the Verbena. It's a little bit more compact and shorter than the Verbena, and the two would work really, really well together. 560,890. Now we didn't see this next one live, but it is available, and this is the Erigeron. It's often called as, or known as Mexican fleabane, and it's a ground cover plant. So basically this will never get too tall. So you're only talking probably about 20-30 centimetres max, but it spreads. And do you know what? It's one of the most resilient plants. It will even grow out of cracks in walls and things like that. I've seen it growing out of stone steps. It's used to very poor soils, very poor conditions. It likes just a sunny spot. And what is interesting, the flowers change colour. So they start white, and then they go through various stages of pink as well. And each individual flower is quite simple. It's like a daisy type flower, but en masse, it looks really, really stunning. And that's 560,640 for the Erigeron, known as Mexican fleabane. Then we've got the Philadelphus. This is a lovely variety called Snowball. It's super scented. It's got a gorgeous mock orange scent to it. Flowers summertime, sort of midsummer. Not too large, it's only going to grow to about 1.2 metres, but it is all about the fragrance. And those flowers are doubles. They are absolutely beautiful. So that's another one in the mix and match. So don't forget, for an extra £1, you can get an extra 3 plants. Now, we haven't seen this one in the studio yet, but It's one of my absolute favourites. It's called the Phlox Collection, but I know it as the Carpet Phlox because this is another sort of ground cover plant. Flowers early spring, so normally March, April time, just as your daffodils and tulips are coming out. It reminds me a little bit of Abretia, if you've ever grown Abretia. Flowers are similar type, and you just get a mass, a clump of these gorgeous little 5-petal flowers. 3 different varieties in here. Fully winter hardy, stays evergreen. And you may be looking to get a few flowers in autumn as well. 561 022 at 1497 or 1347 if you are a club member. Now, something that I haven't grown is the Perovskia, known as Russian sage. And Adam, who's one of our other garden experts, was saying he has grown this. He's used it in lots of the gardens that he's planted. And he was saying it's a great alternative to lavender. So very similar conditions. So it will survive in relatively poor soils. It likes a sunny spot, but it flowers for a longer period than your English lavender. And again, great for your pollinators as well. 569.49 at 14.97, but again, part of our mix and match double up for an extra £1. Now, one of the best deals that we've done on palms this year is the Phoenix Canariensis. This is an offer today and it's £9.99 and it's big. I mean, we're not talking about a small little palm here. We're talking about 60 to 80 centimetres, maybe even taller actually. It's a great palm to grow in the UK. Winter hard, it's about -6, -7. I mean, these images are images from countries like Gran Canaria, Tenerife, and in their native countries, these grow huge. Very unlikely to get to that kind of size in the UK. I mean, if you lived in the south, you know, yes, you could end up with a fairly big palm, but they're slow growing. They will do very nicely in pots. If you live in the middle of the country or in the north, I would definitely suggest just keeping this in a pot. And that way, if it does need that extra bit of winter protection, you can give it that. But it's a lovely palm. Architecturally, it's beautiful, and it is only £9.99 or £8.99 for club members today. That is 680005. Now, we have got a very well established Agapanthus for you right now, and this is the Agapanthus Blue. It's one of the tallest of the Agapanthus that we bring you, so the flower stems can be a metre or maybe even bigger actually. It really needs a sunny spot. These originate from Africa, so yes, they are used to the sun. They also like well drained, and they do like to have their roots contained. They don't want to have too much space, so if you do repot this, only ever repot it into a pot that's just a few centimetres bigger. Don't take it from its existing pot and suddenly put it in a huge area, because what will happen, it will just produce loads of leaves, but it will stop flowering. So if you want to really make the most of this, keep it really well contained, put it in a sunny spot. Might need a little bit of winter protection, so do bear that in mind. 68130. And then we brought you a stunning hydrangea called the Magical Matterhorn. So this is a paniculata. It has the most lovely kind of creamy green flowers that change colour slightly throughout their season. It's compact, so it's only going to grow to about 80 centimetres in terms of height. And it loves moist soil, so don't let it dry. Hydrangeas hate drying out, and I always think they do best in kind of like semi-shade, so they will tolerate a sunny spot, but they are more likely to dry out, so I always think semi-shade is best for these. 511, 551 and 999. And don't forget, YouGarden have also got a fantastic selection of houseplants available on the website, but the Spathiphyllum peace lily is a compact peace lily, so only going to go to about 60-70 centimetres, beautiful foliage, gorgeous flowers, and very easy to look after. Just like sort of like a nice bright spot, but not direct sunlight, and it will let you know when it needs watering because it will go all floppy. But don't wait if that happens, because the moment you water it, within about an hour, it will be all nice and firm and upright again. 800-304 for the Spathiphyllum there, peace lily. Right. Very quickly, good morning. By the way, our clock says 10 to 12. It's not 10 to 12. It's 10 to 11. The clocks have gone back. That means nice bright mornings and
darker
really long nights, doesn't it?
Yeah, we're going to feel it tonight, aren't we? 5 o'clock, it'll be dark.
Yeah, but I say, I mean, it was nice to get up and see the light.
I still got up in the dark because I forgot to change my clock. So I still got up in the dark, and I will go home in the dark.
Oh dear.
But I'll get the benefit of it tomorrow.
Yeah. And there's some really nice weather forecast over the next couple of weeks, by the way. I mean, where I live, it's going to be about 15, 16 degrees, full sunshine.
I can't wait. I'm looking forward to getting out in the garden over the next couple of weeks. That's what I'm going to do this week. It's
great.
Plant some bulbs out. In fact,
go on.
Ellen has sent us an email saying, how do I stop squirrels digging up my bulbs this year? They had a field day last year and dug up all my crocuses and tulips. Many thanks, Ellen. Okay, so I had a similar experience because they dug up my Globe Master alliums. I had planted five. I had one that survived because something came and dug them up. I'm assuming squirrels. I never caught them. I mean, there's a few things you can do. So you can get like netting or things that you can put across the top of pots. And I imagine you could do the same thing on the ground as well. There's certain, I mean, like not necessarily netting, but maybe wire that you can put across the top of pots and things and even over the ground that can stop them from getting in there and digging things up. But that's probably my best suggestion.
Yeah, it is tricky.
It is. It's hard to stop them, unfortunately. But yeah, I would say some kind of wiring, some kind of chicken wire or something like that you can lay down where you've put your bulbs, whether that's in pots or in the ground, and that will help to deter them.
But it's a problem that crops up a lot in group chat, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. I mean, if anyone else has got any suggestions,
then please let us
know. We'll read out any suggestions there. That would be great.
By the way, don't forget your free gift. Just like Chris about the free gift, it's blooming fast today. But to get that free gift, it's worth $4.99. You get 100 litres. That makes 100 litres of premium plant food. All you need to do is add that off code YGTV. 4324. So YGTV 4324 is the off code today, and you will get free postage if you spend over £40. But if your order is under £40, we do cap it at $6.99 maximum per order.
I'm just having a look in the chat still. Elaine, thank you very much for saying I look lovely in my glasses.
Stu said that as well, didn't he?
I know. No, he was reading the comment. I don't know why.
I've
never liked wearing glasses.
Really?
Sometimes it's getting to the stage where I can't keep fighting through anymore. Elaine was also saying she's had 9 bags of that bark mulch up to now, and she still needs another 4 bags.
Well, get it while it's still half price, because I don't know when the price will go up.
Absolutely.
It's really good, Elaine. I've been using it at the pub.
Elaine has sent us some pictures of her garden, so we must show those. So this is one of the lovely little borders. So this is Moonbeam, I want to say. It is. It's Moonbeam, isn't it? Lovely. Look at that. I like how natural it is, you know?
Yeah,
really
I like
beautiful. Love that. She
Thank
sent
you,
us a couple
Elaine.
more as well.
I think Elaine's really come on with the gardening this year, hasn't she?
Yeah, it's looking good. Oops.
That's a nice one, Elaine.
I just tapped the screen. Sorry, let's go to the next one. And geranium, obviously, still looking absolutely incredible. My geranium, Roseanne, is still looking fabulous now as well.
Same here.
I can tell it's starting to slow down a little bit, but it's looking absolutely incredible.
I mean, bear in mind, it's nearly November.
Yeah. And there's another one, I've forgotten the name of it, but it's Pimpernel or something or other. It's the bright blue one. I'll show you it.
I've got to say, I think...
You got this one, Shaun. I've completely forgotten the name of it, but it's that lovely bright blue one.
Anagallis.
Anagallis, that's the one.
So, Elaine, it's the first time this year that I've grown the Anagallis.
Sky Lover, that was it, isn't it?
Yes. And I've loved it. It's been amazing, hasn't it? It is, by the way, Elaine, you probably remember, it's a tender perennial. So... depending on the winter, it may survive the winter as well. But what I've done, I've actually taken a few pieces of mine out and I've put them in my greenhouse. But it is a tender perennial, so hopefully it will survive. But yeah, it was I always like to try. We both like to try new things. And that Anagallis, that was fabulous.
Gorgeous colour.
Right, thank you for all of the comments as well. Right, pots. This is a really good deal. So it's 6 for the price of 2. 6 of the Helix, but you can mix and match the colours as well. But the colours are, I think they're really nice. And I actually think the mix and matching works. But we've got the clay, we've got the silver, and you've got the bronze there, Bex.
Yeah, you can
in fact, if I just put the silver next to it, there is a difference.
Yeah, you can just sort of see the difference in the tones there.
Yeah.
I quite like the idea of getting, like, like all 3 different colours.
I do. I think
like
that works.
that idea, but maybe you do just want 6 of the same colour. It's entirely up to you here. They've got the drainage holes in the bottom there, good amount as well. It's that 8 drainage holes in the bottom. The channels as well for extra water to be able to run away from. Lovely size as well with that 10-inch diameter. So the perfect size for you to be able to change over fairly cheaply, because it means that you're not spending loads of money in compost and plants if you want to do a regular sort of changeover of your displays throughout the seasons. They're great for putting onto steps or maybe up onto raising up onto tables as well, like I do in the winter time, where I don't use my outdoor table in the winter for going and sitting and eating at, but I do use it to put my plant pots and things on. So when I'm looking out the window, I can see those gorgeous colours.
And we are looking at a price of just £8.09 if you are a club member. So basically put 6 in your basket and you can do any combination. So you might go for 1 of the clay, 2 of the silver, 3 of the bronze, but you can do whatever combinations that you wish, and you'll basically get 6, but you'll only pay for 2. So I'm thinking I think I'd go for 3 of the clay today. So all you need to do, go to the show page, they're right at the bottom actually, these. They're under different item numbers, so I'm going to go for 3 of the clay. I'm going to be quite random. I'm going to go for 1 of the silver.
Just to be awkward.
Yeah, just to show you any combination works. And then I'm going to go for 2 of the bronze. And so watch this. It doesn't matter, you can do whatever you want. I mean, this is a bit of a random selection, I know. And then add those to your basket. Yeah, and should point out, you've got to put the singles in, not the twin packs, because you'll pay more if you put the twin packs in. So always use these singles. So 3 of the clay, 2 of the bronze, 1 of the silver. So currently we're paying £6.93.
Well, that's too much.
Well, let's put the code in, Bex, go on.
Don't want to pay that. YGTV 4324, enter the code. Oh, look at that saving now. So £17.98, you're going to pay postage on that order if that's what you're paying for, but do you know what, that's still an amazing price, because you're getting your fertiliser included, plus you're getting 6 pots in there as well. And that price has come down to £24.97. That was 60 quid before, wasn't it?
But you know what I'm thinking? You need some compost to fill those pots
Totally.
with, don't you? I mean, not being funny, but you really do. So if you added compost to your order, that would take it over £40 and you would get free delivery as well. Lovely planters there, great size and ideal for your sort of winter bedding and of course your bulbs as well. Right, oh hang on, I've got my
you need your prop, bring your prop. We're going over to this table over here. We're going to start with the pampas. Shaun's got his tickling stick.
So, last year, I've got both of these pampases, but the pink one I only planted this year. The white one I planted about 3.5 years ago. First year it didn't produce any plumes. Second year it did produce like about a dozen or so. This year there's over 60.
Wow.
And what I meant to do last year was cut them off and dry them, and I left it too late and they kind of started to shred and things. So look, I've brought one in.
Whee!
Oh, they're beautiful.
I love
great?
pampas. They're so gorgeous. I mean, I love them on the plant, and that you can leave them on the plant over winter. It adds that lovely interest. Them swaying in the breeze is absolutely gorgeous. But of course, you can cut them and dry them and use them for indoor displays as well.
So that's what I'm doing this year. I mean, I just think they're so beautiful. And honestly, the garden centres, they sell these
so much
for about
money,
£10 each sometimes.
Yeah.
And pampas, you do need space for these because they can go to like 2 by 2 metres. They are the king and queen of grasses. But they look magnificent, and I am quite proud of my pampas. I mean, look, they're easy to grow, just a nice sunny spot, well-drained soil. Yeah, I mean, they're not difficult, but they do look spectacular. So this is what your pampas could look like within about 2 to 3 years. This is a Cortadera pampas grass, and it is known as the king of grasses. I think you can see why. It is just magnificent, and these flower in sort of like September, October, and they really do steal the show. And I just find this incredibly beautiful. I just think it is breathtaking. And all it needs, it likes a nice sunny position. This gets sun virtually all day long. The sun comes from over there and it gets it pretty much till the sun sets over there. And it likes a well-drained soil, and that is pretty much it. They are fast-growing. They do need space. I mean, this is a king of grasses, so it likes space. What I've done is I've actually grown it against the patio, so it can only go this way. It's not going to be too invasive. But it's hard to believe 4 years ago, it lived in a pot like this from YouGarden. Now, I have got one, a pink one, that I've just planted over here. It's been in there about a year. Do you want to come and see it? Come on. So that pampas there, remember, is 4 years old. This one is a pink pampas. In fact, this is the... I've still got the pot. I've just found it in the greenhouse. So that was in this pot about a year ago, and look, it's incredible, isn't it? In 12 months. It hasn't flowered this year, but next year that definitely will. Now, if you're thinking, oh, I love the look of those, but I don't have the space, Shaun, you're a bit worried they're going to take over, just come down here, because we also have the tiny pampa, and it is exactly the same, but it is just a miniature version. I'll be honest, I think that's slightly lost there, so I might transfer that to a pot, because that would look lovely in a pot as well. So whatever pampas you're looking for, YouGarden have got you covered. I mean, they are just incredible grasses, aren't they?
I love the shape of them. I'm just saying, while we were watching that, the shape of it is just beautiful. And considering all you did was plant it, like, that's just, I mean...
No, it's true. I'm trying to make sure I've got really green. I mean, you know, you're right. I've planted it in that corner. It does get good sun.
Yes, and I think that's the important thing about it. It needs a decent amount of sunshine, but as long as you've got the right spot for it, you can get that look with very little effort on your part.
I should say that it's really quite exposed where it is, and that's where you often see pampas in coastal areas and things. So it doesn't mind if it's quite an exposed area, but it does want that sun. It wants well-drained soil. You do need space, so it's not for everybody, but if you have got space, they're amazing. And the fact that they're evergreen as well, and those plumes, last year they looked good right through to about February time, and then they did look, look a bit tatty and stuff. But they're amazing, and two of those. You've seen the price bags?
I know, $6.49. You're going to get both of them, the king and the queen.
Hang on,
plant those in your garden.
So I bought a triple pack of the pink earlier on in the year, and I've got two of them. and gave one to Bex. I can't remember what I paid for this. No, I think I paid £15 for the three.
Yeah, I think you probably did. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's $6.49 for two, and you get a pink and a white, which is lovely. So, yeah, and I'm biased, but that is one of my favourite plants in my garden right now. So we're going to move on, though, to something that I know as the toffee apple tree.
Yeah, and the reason it's called the toffee apple tree is because when it drops its leaves and you sort of you get this lovely sweet toffee apple smell from the leaves, which is absolutely incredible, particularly because it drops its leaves at this time of year, you know, Halloween, and when we're thinking about toffee apples, and this will grow into a full-size tree, a proper tree. It'll take obviously 20 odd years to get to those sort of sizes. It's got the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit, so proven performer, lovely heart-shaped, bronze tinted when they're young, the leaves on here, but then you get the yellows, the oranges, the reds in autumn. I am loving the colours on the trees at the minute.
Same here.
Isn't it the most beautiful?
Yeah.
When we're starting to feel a bit sad about summer being over, but then you're driving along and you see these amazing, you know, kaleidoscope colours, and this will provide that for you.
I mean, yesterday I took a picture about 5:15, just as the sun was beginning to set, and everything looked amazing.
Oh, it's so pretty at the minute, isn't it?
Yeah, but this, so the smell of the leaves as they fall from the trees, they honestly do smell like toffee apples. Yeah. Kids love this one as well, they really do.
Definitely.
And lovely colours, you know, those oranges and yellows there,
especially
amazing.
on a bright sunny day like today as well.
But this will grow, you know, it can grow, you know, it's a massive, massive tree. Like we're talking 10, 15 metres or so. Absolutely,
yeah, definitely. It's going to take a little bit of time to get established, obviously. Keep it well watered whilst it's getting established. But yeah, if you've got the space for this, that will be incredible. And I love the idea of planting a baby tree and then watching that grow. That would be beautiful.
511-267. That is only $4.99 as well. Now we're going to move on to one of the most extraordinary echinaceas, which is the green twister. And I grew this one this year, and have you grown this one back?
I did, yeah. I grew it a couple of years ago. Absolutely beautiful, love it. Gorgeous colour combination, lime green tips to the petals. This beautiful, I mean, green and pink, you wouldn't put it together, would you? But it really works. And then you get those really thick, solid cones in the centre. It's got the badge of perfect for pollinators from the Royal Horticultural Society. You get just... the thing with echinacea that I really like is that the flowers last for ages. You know, you get a good sort of 6-7 weeks out of the flowers, and they stay looking amazing for such a long time.
And we have had other echinaceas that may be pink or white, but this one is just extraordinary.
Yeah.
And actually, you know, lots of the social media posts from people that grew this year. They, you know, everyone was sharing the pictures because it's just an extraordinary plant. It almost looks like it's been hand painted, doesn't it?
It does indeed, and those green colours get more vivid as it gets established. You have lovely long straight stems on here, which means that you know these work great as a cut flower as well. So I was saying they last ages on the plant, but they also last a long time as a cut flower as well. Sometimes you cut a flower and it fades very quickly, but these actually are long lasting as a cut flower.
Now they should survive the winter, by the way, but just don't let them get waterlogged.
Yeah.
And actually, that's just a little tip, because I mean, last winter was just horrific, wasn't it? So you really want to make sure, you know, most plants, unless you're going for the pond plant collection that's available on our website, most plants do not want to be waterlogged.
Unfortunately, I lost my echinaceas because of my clay soil.
Yeah, so just
they look great, but unfortunately the clay soil they did not like.
No,
so
just
I've learnt my
bear that
lesson.
in mind. Right, we have now got a Forsythia for you, but a Forsythia with a difference. Because if you think, oh, Forsythia, I haven't got room for one of those. This one is a compact variety.
Yeah, the compact variety, and I absolutely adored the Forsythia early on in the year. About March time.
Mine was
End of
quite.
February?
Yeah, I'm going to say mine was early. Mine was February this year. Well, last year.
This was the plant that was absolute standout at that time of year, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was. We talk about it like certain plants at certain times. They're the ones that draw the focus. This one was an absolute standout. End of February and into March time. The bright yellow flowers that appear on those bare stems just really draw your attention, and the way that it grows in that lovely upright shape as well. It is so pretty, and of course it's nice and compact. So other Forsythias that do get out of hand, that do get too big, that don't work necessarily for modern smaller gardens, this isn't one of those. This is going to cope well in those smaller spaces, or even in a pot if that's where you've got.
And when it's about 80 centimetres.
Yeah, about 80 centimetres, maybe a metre in height. That's about it.
That's
amazing. Not going to get any bigger than that.
And it is called the Easter tree because it is going to flower around about Easter, but Easter moves.
Yeah.
And it depends where you live in the UK. But when people say, well, when does it flower? There's always a margin there, because it does depend where you live and
I
what the
think
winter's like.
February, March.
Yeah.
Within there, that's where you're going to get and it truly is standout, because at that time of year, there's not a lot else that's happening, is there?
And any plant that flowers before it produces leaves is always more spectacular. Like things like your magnolias, for example.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what this does. The Kojo Nomad that many of you got as well. When you get all the flowers before the leaves, it just has such a bigger impact.
True.
And that one is a stunner. And I say, just as you're sort of like making it through with the worst of winter, this bursts into flower. But I really like that variety, and it's one of the new ones actually that is a lot more compact. And in fact, that's going to go on my list today. Yeah, I've got a Forsythia, but not this brand new variety. They say great for pots as well. Half price today. Now we have got another houseplant for you right now. This Strelitzia, Bird of Paradise. I have not yet got mine to flower, but mine are now quite established. I'm hoping they're going to flower next year, because when these flower, look at these. I mean, look at the flowers.
I know. They are magical, aren't
they?
Obviously, you can see where it gets its name, Bird of Paradise, because when it does flower, you get the most amazing, almost like a tropical bird. Quite early flowering. It can flower any time between sort of February and May time. Those flowers are very, very long lasting as well. Bright light, some direct sun is going to really help with this. And I would say, as far as watering is concerned, keep it regular with the watering throughout spring and summer. But then once you get into winter, just allow it to dry out in between waterings. I mean, look, it's tricky. You're not always going to get it to flower, but if you follow those sorts of rules, then the chances are that you stand a good chance of getting that to flower.
Now, Adam, who's one of our other garden experts, he's got one of these. It's a really big established plant, and he puts his outside in the summertime, and his has flowered every single year for the last 3-4 years, and it looked amazing. It really did. I remember you spoke. Well, you still can. You can buy these as a cut flower, but they are so expensive.
So expensive.
They really are.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't need to do any pruning with this. You might want to just remove any untidy leaves. That's all you need to do with this. It's an air purifying plant as well, so it's fantastic to have in your homes because it will actually purify the air, remove some of those toxins in the air. It does like a decent amount of humidity, so that's another thing that I would suggest is giving it a little mist every now and then so that it feels like it's in a humid environment. Who's that, Judith? Julia.
They said, can we stop the show? Her basket's overflowing.
Bank account is crying. I'm sorry, Julia.
There are, I mean, I must say, I've got my shopping list in my head at the moment, Julia, so I'm making, you know, like a little list in my head. But I've got a big basket right now. I really have. There's so many great deals today. And actually, between you and I and all you lovely viewers that are watching right now, quite often you get the best buys out of season.
Yeah.
You know, we do clear stock at this time of year. We try and obviously reduce the amount of stock that we hold on the nursery. So you do get some great deals. Because actually, you know, for us to look after too many plants over the winter, there's quite a cost associated with that. So you can get some great deals. And actually, this Strelitzia, the bird of paradise, for $4.99 is an incredible price. Do you know, and even, I mean, mine hasn't flowered yet. I've had mine a few years, but I haven't flowered yet. But actually, just as a foliage plant, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Oh, this is the thing. Yeah. You get these lovely, large, paddle-shaped leaves on here. It can get to a good metre and a half, maybe even a metre, you know, nearly 2 metres in height here. So it is beautiful just as a foliage plant. If you can get the flowers as well, though, ooh, yes, please.
And a little tip, by the way, sometimes, in the actual flower heads, there's another flower inside.
Yes.
And sometimes that doesn't quite come out. So once the first flower is going over, what I've done sometimes is actually just put a little slit in. Have you ever done that, Bex?
No. I've never grown one.
I've only had them as cut flowers. Right. I mean, I've got one, so but it's never flowered. But sometimes you can encourage there's sometimes a second flower just at the end there that doesn't quite come out.
They are incredible.
They're amazing. I remember my nan was sent some, and I think I was probably in about 7 or 8, and I had a rich auntie and uncle. Auntie Pauline, Uncle Bob, they were the ones with all the money. You know, there's always one. So there's always each family's always got, like, you know,
Auntie Jane, Uncle Peter.
Is that yours? Yeah. So they used to be own electricians, electrical business, I should say. So they used to travel a lot, and they went to Spain, and they sent some cut flowers back to my nan in a big box, and I remember just being fascinated by them. They're superb. You're cuddling that little dog, aren't you?
I am. I've been thinking about getting another dog. Maybe I should get a little Scotty. Might get a little Scotty dog. He's so cute. Look at him. So this is our doorstop. He's the Scotty doorstop. He weighs 1.5 kilograms, which is perfect, obviously, because it's going to be there to hold the doors open. Lovely, thick, heavyweight material here. He's got a lovely little bell on the front there too, and he's a great price, quite frankly.
And it's got nothing to do with gardening, by the way.
Nothing to do with gardening. We don't care.
We don't care.
It's a little Christmas gift. Why not? This would be a great little gift for yourself. Just love him. He's very, very cute. And as Shaun was saying earlier, like, you know, these can cost a fortune, can't they, when you buy them in other garden centres and things?
And with YouGarden, I mean, I jest and say nothing to do with gardening, but we are like a garden centre online. So yes, we do have. If you look, we have lots of lovely gift ideas. And the great thing is, because you're a club member, you still get 10% off it.
Yeah.
So we have got things like garden lighting. I tell you what I love at the moment, the 3-in-1 rake that we've got. Have you seen this one yet? Right, seriously. So we did a bit of filming at my house the other week, and I only used this for the first time. And honestly, this was a genuine reaction, and I was absolutely thrilled. This clip's on our Instagram, by the way, and our Facebook. But honestly, that was the first time I'd used it, Bex. And I mean, it took up every leaf. Look at it.
You're not backwards and forwards.
No.
Because raking can be quite running to do the next one. Raking can be quite hard work, can't it?
Well, what I loved is it's really big, so it's about 4 times the size of a regular rake. The leaves don't stick on the prongs either.
Yeah.
But also, what you can do, the side panels come off, and what happens is it becomes a smaller rake for your beds and borders, but then the side panels come off, and they're like giant hands.
Big hands.
Yeah. Look at this.
That.
It's so good.
So good.
That is one of the best products, seriously, that we've had. And you still get your club discount on that. Have we got the product number for that, Stu? We'll get it for you at home. Because honestly, that is. I was speaking to Paul the buyer from that. It's one of the best products we've ever seen. 160484. So it's 160484. So if you just type rake in our search engine, you'll find it. But it was amazing, and it's one of those things. Like Stu, who arrived with it, and he said, "There it is." He said, "Oh, have a go with this," and I absolutely loved it. I've ordered mine. Love it. It's brilliant. Well, you don't have many leaves in your garden?
No, not many.
I have loads, and they're absolute pain. They really are. But that rake is superb. Right. Anyway, that's me. That's me going on about that rake.
Get your rake, everybody. Get your rake. Right, we're going to do a little Christmassy section now for you. Let me move Scotty out the way. Because we've actually got 3 different types of amaryllis for you. We've got the beautiful Snow Queen. We've got the lovely Red Velvet. And we've also got Christmas Star over there as well. What we're starting with Snow Queen. Now, the great thing is they come boxed. So, first of all, great as a gift. But you also get everything in here that you need. So you don't actually have to add anything to it. So if we open the box up, inside you're going to get your bulb, your pot, and your dehydrated compost as well. So all you have to do is soak the compost, that will break down, plant your bulb in the pot that's provided, and about 8 weeks after you do that process, you will get flowers. I know you're a bit of an expert when it comes to this, aren't you?
Well,
You've done this a lot.
My mum always, when I was a child, we grew one every single year. So the actual bulb you need that above the compost, about the top third. So it's not like other bulbs where you bury them. That needs to sit about the top third above the compost. And when you water it, water around the bulb, not on it. Very important. So never water directly on the bulb because it could rot. Just give it a water around. Now, what is interesting, and I can't guarantee this, but with it being a large amaryllis, you are far more likely to get more than one stem. And this one has just started to produce its first 2 stems. So those are the leaves in the centre, and the leaves won't properly grow until it's finished flowering. But can you see that is a flower stem there, and that is one there. So this is going to have 2. And each one of those stems grows to about 60, 70. They're the leaves in the centre, those. So they're definitely leaves in the centre. There's 2 at either, you've got one either side, you've got 2 flower stems, but each one can produce 4 to 6 flowers as well. And generally speaking, from planting this to flowering is around about 8 weeks. Yeah. But they are amazing, honestly.
And they can get to a really decent height as well. It can get to probably about 50 centimetres in height. Really beautiful, bright, showy flowers that you get from these. And as I say, you're getting everything that you need in that box. So you get the bulb, you get the compost, and you get the planting pot included as well. But so you just need to decide which one you want to go for.
And they are, say, bigger, better quality bulbs than many out there. So we've got Snow Queen, that's the white one, obviously. Then we have got the Red Velvet.
Beautiful, gorgeous red colour for Christmas, which this could be flowering at Christmas time for you.
And then finally, we have got our Christmas Star, which is the white and the red one as well. They're all lovely, but I think that's
I don't know. Yeah, I think that's probably, if I was going to choose, that's probably the one I would go for. But I think they're all beautiful. And if you can go for 2 or maybe even all 3 of them, that would be beautiful too. And
a little tip, by the way, if you want to get them to reflower, because a lot of people just throw them away when they're flowered, it's actually not that difficult. When the flowers have gone over, chop the stems off, then keep watering and feeding, and then it will produce loads of leaves, basically. So that will happen once it's flowered. It doesn't really produce... The leaves are quite short when it's flowering, but then keep feeding, keep watering, and then it will produce loads and loads of leaves, and then sort of September time, stop watering, stop feeding, let it all die down, and then once all the leaves have gone brown, then you start watering again.
Don't you put it somewhere dark?
Well, I did. Adam is one of the other gardening experts.
He was saying no.
He doesn't, but I've done that before. I've stopped watering, stopped feeding, and put it in the dark. Yeah. So the choice is some people do, some don't. I always did. But then mine only reflowered probably 50% of the time.
So maybe not.
So I'm but you can get them to reflower. And what happens is the bulb gets bigger, and if you actually manage to keep getting them to flower, they just get bigger and bigger and get more and more stems. Amazing. But they're brilliant. Great little Christmas gift.
Yeah, I love them. I love the idea as a little Christmas gift or as just a different sort of Christmas decoration to have rather than your poinsettias. Get yourself some amaryllis instead.
Great. And again, you know, we club discount $8.99 on those today. Right, something we've both got, Holly Standards.
So I'll be dragging these out soon. They're around the side of the house or around the back of the house at the moment. They're brilliant. I absolutely adore my Holly Standards. They come with the pots as well, by the way. They come with the.
That's
is this
good.
the pinecone planter?
Yeah.
That's not
oh no, we've got the wrong
planter,
ones.
is it? I've got the wrong one.
I know. I saw it earlier.
Is it still outside? I'll go and have a look. You tell them about the Holly Tree Standards. I'll get the planter.
Yeah, they're outside. Sorry. I thought I'd seen them inside. So you get 2 of the Holly Standards. Now, they should arrive. We've checked them on the nursery. Many of them are covered in berries right now. They've been grown what we call it as a standard. So you've got the tall stem there. You've got all the gorgeous foliage. They're not too spiky. So not too spiky at all. I just reshape mine every now and again. I mean, the actual head will get a lot bigger and fuller, and the stem will get a lot thicker and stronger over the next several years. But what Bex and I both do is at Christmas time, we have them pride of place where everyone sees them as they're coming into our homes. And then for the rest of the year, we'll put them I'll still have them out on display, but not maybe, either side of my front door.
Yeah, mine just live around the back of the house in the bright sun. You know, it's good to put them somewhere where they're going to get a decent amount of sun. The more sun they get, the more chance they've got of producing more berries for you. So mine live around the back of the house, bright sun, southwest facing, so it gets loads and loads of sun. So I've already got loads of berries appearing on mine, and then from December the 1st, they get put round at the front of the house, either side of the doorway. Lovely festive welcome. Super easy to look after. If you get a crazy stem just coming out, I just give it a little prune every now and then just to create this lovely sort of ball of colour up at the top there. I would keep the stick in for a little while because you want to get the stem to just get a little bit stronger and a bit thicker before you remove that. But that's going to help to keep it nice and upright.
I mean, if I remove that right now, look, it is supporting itself, but obviously if it was windy or anything like that.
Exactly.
So I'm with you, Bex. I would just wait, and that will get thicker and stronger.
Just keep the stake in for a little while. It doesn't look unsightly, so it's absolutely fine. The pots that come with it are beautiful. I love the black and the bronze that you've got on here, but I would suggest they're not going to live in here forever.
No.
I think they're a little bit too small ultimately for the plants to live in there forever. But for the first season, absolutely beautiful. I would then pot them into something slightly larger and use these pots for something else.
And actually, at Christmas time, what you could do, because I think they actually can look quite festive. What I'd be tempted to do is put some little twinkly lights on there, little battery operated lights.
I wrap it up around the stem and then around the ball up at the top there. Now, it is the Blue Maid holly tree. I don't know if you said this while I was out of the room, but it's the female variety basically. So it's a very prolific berry producer. So you just want more and more berries. Shaun, apparently your mic's gone. You need to go and sort your batteries out. Off you go. So yes, this one is going to produce amazing berries. So you should get loads and loads of those lovely red flowers. But of course, you also get in the springtime and through slightly into summer, you get these lovely little white flowers on there as well, which pollinators absolutely adore. So you'll get those lovely pollinators coming. If you want to create Christmas decorations as well, as this grows, you can cut stems off here so that you can then create some gorgeous Christmas decorations as well. Price is amazing. It's half price today. You're saving £50 to get a pair of those. So I think they're great for you to have yourself, or potentially, if you fancy buying somebody a nice festive Christmas gift, then this is a lovely Christmas gift for them. And of course, if you're in the club, you're going to get another £5 discount on there as well at £44.96. The item number is 511603. All you have to do is go to YouGarden.com to place your order. I need to just remind you of the bird of paradise. Apparently lots of you are starting to go for that as well. I am not surprised. It is so it can be an outdoor plant, but it is a protect from frost kind of thing. So it's it can just be an indoor plant as well. What you get from this is beautiful, tall, paddle-shaped leaves from these. Lovely structure, lovely height, lovely architecture that you get from this. But then if you can get this to flower, it is absolutely incredible. Beautiful bird of paradise looking flowers, and this can be quite early flowering. Any time between sort of February and May, you can have these gorgeous flowers on here. Multiples of them as well once you get this established. Really nice and easy. I would suggest some bright light for this, some direct sunlight it's going to be able to cope with as well. Keep it regularly watered throughout spring and summer, and then in winter just allow it to dry out slightly between waterings. But decent amount of light is going to help to ensure that you get those gorgeous, gorgeous flowers on there. No pruning required, maybe just a little bit of removing any untidy leaves in springtime. But a great one here is the fact that it is air purifying, which is a lot of the reasons why we have houseplants in our homes, because they can actually take some of those toxins out of the air. So yeah, I'm glad that you're all going for that one. That one's becoming really popular. 800005 is the item number, and it is only £4.49. Shaun will be back very soon once he's got his mic sorted out, but let's have a little look, because you might want to get hold of some bark mulch right now. This is Shaun in his pub garden.
Hello, well this is our YouGarden ornamental spruce bark mulch. It looks gorgeous actually, it's a really, really nice quality, but there are so many uses for this. It's great as a weed suppressant. So if you've got areas in your garden, beds and borders that get lots of weeds, a nice thick layer of this will just suppress those weeds. Also great as a top dressing around pots and containers. That's what I'm going to use it for here. If you've got children's play areas, it makes a nice soft cushion around those play areas, or maybe areas in your garden that you need to walk over. Having this there just makes it a lot safer and a lot easier. So I'm going to use it here. The reason being, I've got the euonymus here. And to be honest, whenever I've tried to plant things around them, they've never done that well. This is just full of roots. It really, really is. So what I'm going to do, because I think it looks, I just don't think it looks very nice. It looks a little bit ugly. I'm just going to do a nice thick layer of this and just see. Oh, see, yeah, this is going to really work. I'll tell you what, because it's autumn as well, I think that's going to look fun. Also, it is a great duvet. If you've got something that's a little bit tender, something like the Anigalis that I had growing here in the summer, it's a tender perennial. So if it needs that extra protection from cold weather, then this would be absolutely superb. That looks so good, doesn't it? Really nice. Do you know what I'm amazed about? So I haven't done as thick a layer as you normally would for some other jobs, but it's amazing how far this has actually gone. And some of our regular YouGarden customers have bought several bags of this. It can really just make the whole garden look so much more neater and tidier. So I've just stood back and had a look at this from a distance. And what really struck me as well is that all the green foliage now really stands out. You've got the contrast of the green with the bark mulch, and I think it looks absolutely fantastic. I'm really pleased with that. I really should have done this many, many years ago. I'm just so pleased with that. It looks so much better. And obviously, they're big planters that we've got in the pub garden. But even small pots, I know Elaine, that's one of our regulars, hello again, Elaine, you know, she's been using this in so many different areas of the garden, but small pots, big pots, beds and borders, it is an amazing product. And we are still doing a half price offer with postage included as well. Club members, your discount price is £34. Can I just ask for anybody that's not a club member to join the club right now, because it's £5 for the whole year on auto renewal. You can cancel at the end of 12 months, or you can go for the 1 year membership. About 98% of you, I think, go for the auto renewal. But these are the benefits. So if you join the club right now, when you place your first order, you'll get 10% off every plant and accessory, and that's every single time you order. 5% off outdoor living, that's things like garden machinery and certain gifts. But this is brilliant. You'll also receive £20 worth of vouchers. And you can use those vouchers in conjunction with our offer code as well, with the YouGarden offer code. So that's like getting £20 worth of cash back, really. And you're only paying £5 to join the club. And you're going to get exclusive offers, competitions, and expert advice. So we've got about 45,000 members right now of our club. So if you're not a member, join right now, because we're all trying to save money, aren't we? And honestly, Bex and I have saved hundreds and hundreds of pounds from joining the club. And just very quickly, because you might have just joined us, don't forget our free gift today is the Blooming Fast. And this, please don't think that this is just a little giveaway. That makes 100 litres of premium plant food. That's about 20 watering cans. And do you know what? A lot of you will have bought ready-made plant food. There's one that comes in a yellow plastic container. Great. But you're paying for a lot of water there. this is the really clever way of making your food go a lot further and spending nothing, because it's a free gift today. And it's really high in your NPK, so great for every part of the plant's development, the roots, the shoots, and the flowers and the fruits as well. And you've got lots of trace elements and minerals in there as well. And if you don't use it on it, I know you're not going to feed your plants a lot during the winter, it doesn't matter, because that can be, you can save these. Whenever we do it, it's a free gift. I literally sometimes come to my greenhouse and I have a dozen of those sitting on the side. And all I do is place lots of separate orders and get lots of separate free gifts. And also, we are doing free delivery. I know a lot of you are spending over £40 today. You get free delivery when you spend over £40. All you need to do to unlock all of the promotions is use the offer code today, which is YGTV4324. And do you know what I do? And Bex is the same. We do milk the system a bit. So sometimes we'll play around with our basket and just work out what gives us the best offer. So sometimes you'll have an order and you think, oh, I'll pay the $6.99, but then you think, oh, actually, I need some compost. So maybe by adding compost to your order, that gets it to over £40, and it will give you the free delivery as well. Keep those comments coming in, by the way. You can chat with us live on YouTube and Facebook. And, of course, you can message and email us on ygtv@yougarden.com. Hello, my mic's working again.
Hooray!
I did have a little
malfunction.
Comfort. No, so I was going to say.
You had a little comfort break at the same time, did you?
I made the most of it.
Fair enough, why not?
Right. You didn't need to know that, did you? Right, we've got to just quickly mention our compost because it is our best-selling product here at YouGarden. We sell millions of litres of this. We really, really do. And it's the compost, most importantly, we use at the nursery. So anything that's been grown here, been potted on, then it has been grown in our pre-professional compost. And, I mean, occasionally we do buy a different compost when we run out. Mm-hmm. And I'm always disappointed.
Every single time. I know how good this is because I've been using it for a while now. Our regulars know how good it is because they've been using it for a while. If you are not sure, go and check out our reviews. We have pages and pages and pages of reviews that tell us how pleased people are with this when they get hold of it. It's packed with amazing ingredients. It's got a slow release fertiliser. It's got peat in here, but reduced amount of peat. It's pH buffer, so it's the perfect point in the acid alkalinity scale to be able to use on the majority of the plants in your garden and in your house as well. These reviews are literally just from the last few days. Best compost I've used, and I'll stick to it. I get good blooms, plenty of whatever that was, healthy plants. Have used it all summer and well pleased. Excellent quality, and some used for hanging baskets. Haven't been purchasing this compost for some years, and I swear by it. I can't praise it enough. Lovely compost. I've used it for years, and all the bulbs and plants thrive in it. Yeah. That's literally just from the last few days.
It's our best-selling product. It is a brilliant compost. It's the one that we use on the nursery. This is a proper working nursery, and our livelihood depends on our plants and the quality of our plants. Now, something that I cannot recommend highly enough is Strolsch. Now, this has been a top-selling product for many years, but we're doing a twin pack today for $36.97 with postage included. And that's 2 9-kilo bags that you're getting today. Now, this is a multi-purpose product.
Yep.
But I think this year, because of the wet climate that we get nowadays in the UK, they even made the news. Slugs and snails have been everywhere this year, and they have destroyed a lot of plants, haven't they?
They do, unfortunately. I mean, we want the slugs and snails, we want the whole variety of bugs and things in our gardens, but what we don't want is them eating those plants that they love to munch on. New growth on delphiniums, hostas, certain plants that they absolutely adore, and they'll make a beeline for them. If you put some of this around those plants, then it's going to stop those slugs and snails getting to it. It doesn't damage them, doesn't hurt them. It's a mineralised straw. It's developed in the UK, and what it does is it just gives them a funny sensation. They don't like it, so they don't go near it. So it's really good at protecting your plants from slugs and snails damage. But it has all of these other amazing benefits as well, like being a duvet for our tender plants.
Yeah, so some of your sort of half-hardy perennials, tender perennials, gives them that extra protection. So it might just raise the temperature of the soil surrounding those plants by a couple of degrees, which allows them to survive the winter.
Yeah.
Great as a weed suppressant.
Perfect as a weed suppressant. So very much like the bark mulch, it's going to stop those pesky weeds from coming through constantly. Makes the borders look nice and neat and tidy as well. It'll also help with retaining moisture.
Yes. Again, if you've got areas that can dry out easily, I mean, it's multi-purpose. It's a brilliant organic product, and it keeps working for about 2 years or so, and then once it's got kind of past its best, just dig it into your beds and borders, and it can really help with the structure as well. Somebody like you that's got clay soil.
Yeah,
brilliant
it just loosens it up. It opens it up a little bit. So it's got anything that's got more than one job, like me, is a brilliant thing, isn't it?
So hang on, you said you're brilliant because you do more than one job.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go. We'll go with that, Bex.
Listen, I'm a mum, I'm brilliant.
You are.
Sticking with it.
You are quite good at
I got
multitasking.
all
I have
the
to say,
jobs.
you are good at multitasking. So it's a twin pack, 100, 149, delivered free of charge, $36.97. But I think what you said, Bex, about slugs loving new growth. I mean, you know, once a plant's established, it doesn't matter if the slug, you know, eats a few of the bottom leaves, but it's when they're small and just establishing, a slug can destroy a plant.
I
overnight.
planted several delphiniums and unfortunately did not heed my own advice, which is to use Strolch, and they've gone.
Yeah.
Gone.
Marigolds.
Never to come back.
Have you seen marigolds disappear overnight sometimes, don't they? Sometimes some of your vegetables that you're growing, again, can disappear overnight. So it's a brilliant slug deterrent. And it's not killing the slugs, it's just getting them to move on.
Yeah.
Now, we've also got a brilliant deal, right? Oh, sorry, Bex.
Sorry.
Did that get your elbow?
It's fine, don't worry. I'm all good. I didn't need that arm anyway.
No, of course not.
It's my left one. Don't use it. It's fine.
Julia's just messaged saying she's sold on straw. She is amazing. Thank you, Julia, for that lovely comment.
Yeah.
Right. These are pretty, aren't they?
I like these
I like 'em.
a lot. I'm just adding the hanging bits onto here. Now what you've got on these are the lovely anti-twist bits on the hangers, which means that if it is moving around in the breeze, you haven't got that twisting thing that happens. You can remove them very easily, so if you just want them as pots, look, you can remove those. They can come off or they can just click back into place. It's entirely up to you. They just come with them so you can use them. They've got drainage holes in the bottom and they've got a beautiful design on them.
I think they look a little bit French.
Yes, I can
Do you?
see that.
Yeah?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Très beau.
Well, I don't know what that means. Very something. Very
beautiful.
Very good.
Yes, très beau. I think that's right.
Très bon? Très bien?
That was very good. Do you know, I did actually. I'm sure
I did
my
do
age.
GCSE.
I
did.
I can't remember thinking, yeah.
Not,
Bonjour.
Je m'appelle Rebecca.
Yeah.
J'habite à...
Yeah, that's how I remember.
J'habite à Peterborough.
Yeah.
That's it.
Ouvrez la fenêtre. Open
Where
the window.
is the train?
No, let's open the window. Caluritial. What time is it? Anyway. There's nothing to... Let's just forget all. But no, I think they've got a lovely kind of... I mean, not necessarily French, but a lovely kind of shabby chic vintage look to them. They're on offer today. Normally nearly £20. You get a pair of those for just $6.99 or $6.29. Great for your winter bedding, of course. What I like about these, I don't know about you at home, but I do big hanging baskets in summer, but I tend to make winter ones a little bit smaller because I'm not as outside as much.
Yeah.
So I think they're a great size for your winter bedding.
Absolutely. For the Panza Matrix, for example, you could put those in there. They'd be absolutely gorgeous. What do you want the bird of paradise?
Yes.
I don't know where I put it, Stu. Hang on.
So, by the way, we are getting busy. Don't forget to confirm your orders. So if you want the Panza Matrix, don't forget you're getting 30 garden-ready plants. They're large flowering, they're fully winter hardy, 410143. Now we've had loads of you ordering our bird of paradise today, the Strelitzia. Sometimes, I mean, Bex and I, we love houseplants. I know you love houseplants, but this is the most exotic houseplant you can imagine. It can go outside in the summertime. I mean, Adam that presents some of the shows with us, he puts his outside during the winter. But
Summer.
Sorry, did I say winter? Yeah.
Don't put it outside in the winter.
Definitely don't put it outside in the winter. It's not frost hardy. No, it needs to be in a nice warm environment, a nice warm room. But when it flowers, and it will take quite a few years for this to flower, but when it does, they are incredible, aren't they?
I mean, you will feel like the best gardener when you make that thing flower, won't you? And it's an amazing price. I mean, we're saying it's a half-price deal, but our RRP is $14.99, so it's $9.99 currently on the web, and we are half of that at the moment. So $4.99, get that home. That would be absolutely amazing. For the first few years, you're going to get all this beautiful foliage, lovely big paddle-shaped leaves on there, and then hopefully, any time between February and May, you'll get these gorgeous flowers, and you'll get multiples of them as well.
I'd say I've always been fascinated by this flower. I used to buy it as a cut flower, but you hardly ever see it now.
No.
I don't think it's because
I bet if you do, it's very expensive.
Yeah. So I used to live in Leeds, and there used to be a market there that sold them as a cut flower, but you hardly ever see it nowadays because they're just too expensive. Right, still got loads to show you, but lots of you ordering our Strelitzia Bird of Paradise. It is only $4.99, and it's a gorgeous plant.
Really rooty. There's some roots really sticking out the bottom here. I think I probably have to destroy the pot because that is a chunky root sticking out the bottom right there.
If I remember rightly, they've got quite fleshy roots, haven't they?
I don't think I can get it out because I think I would have to. Yeah, I'd have to cut through that pot because it's really grown out the bottom there. But that just tells you it's a really well-established quality plant.
Well, let's remind you of some of the other half-price deals that we've had today on, of course, YouGarden TV. Right, love this. This is our Pampas grass. It's the king and queen of grasses. You get a pink one, you get a white one. These are magnificent, and they tend to produce these wonderful plumes September, October time. The plumes do last the winter, but obviously as the winter gets harsher, they start to shred. But you can chop them off and dry them and have them as cut displays. But it's the most magnificent grass you can imagine. I've got to say both these in my garden, and they look absolutely magnificent. They are fast growing, they are evergreen, they just need a sunny spot, well-drained soil. They will tolerate open positions like coastal areas as well. 561208. An amazing deal on that one. Normally £20, $6.49 today. Then we've got our rosemary. Our strict rosemary, because it's known as Miss Jessop's Upright. And this one is, look, it's a herb, of course it is, but just to call it a herb would be doing it a big injustice because it flowers. May, June time, you get these amazing flowers. It smells divine. It can be used in many culinary uses as well. And over the years, it can grow into a really nice, big shrub. They're amazing, and even if you never use the rosemary for cooking, it's a gorgeous plant to have in your garden. 750-062, and that is down to just $4.99 today. Then a brand new variety of Forsythia. So this one is known as Micador Easter tree. It's a lot more compact, so only growing to about 80 centimetres a metre. Flowers early springtime. So end of February, March, beginning of April, depending on where you live. And the lovely thing is with the Forsythia, all of these bright yellow flowers, they come out before the foliage. So it really has a big impact. So if you always wanted a Forsythia but you don't have the room, the Micador is definitely for you because it's a brand new, compact, petite variety of Forsythia. 511014. And this is a really good deal today. Sometimes say you get the best deals out of season. This is the Phoenix Canariensis palm. It's only $9.99, normally £25. So it's got a £15 saving. The club discount price is $8.99 today. And in its native country, they grow huge, but in the UK, generally speaking, they grow in pots about 1.5 metres. They may grow bigger if you live in the south. 680-005. And then also, one of the most beautiful trees in autumn is this one. It's only small right now. It comes in 9 centimetre pot, but over many years, this can grow huge. We're talking 10, 15 metres or so, so a proper full-size tree. But in autumn, the foliage goes this lovely kind of burnt orange and yellow, but it smells of toffee apples, and that is the absolute truth. When those leaves fall, you get the most incredible sweet fragrance of toffee apples, and that's 511267. And then we brought you the most unusual echinacea known as green twister. You may have seen these earlier on in the year, but today we are doing them half price. Now, generally speaking, they are winter hardy. Just make sure they don't get waterlogged over the winter. That's the one sort of like rule, I would say. But they're at least tri-coloured, so pinks and greens and oranges in there. You've got a lovely cone in the centre. They're out of this world, and I grew these this year, and I can honestly say they are such attention grabbers. They just are remarkable flowers. Really unusual variety of the green twister, one of the most talked about in the horticultural world. 560 406 449 if you are a club member. And then Elaine messaged saying she's still needs another 4 bags of this. It is our ornamental spruce bark mulch, currently half price. I've literally just used it in our pub garden to tidy up some of the containers. This one I couldn't grow anything in it. The euonymus was just basically sapping all of the nutrients out of the compost. So anything that I grew was pretty pathetic looking. I kept getting weeds in there. So what I've done is I've just covered those and some of the surrounding pots in the bark mulch. And for me, it's just tidied everything up, and actually it makes those shrubs stand out even more, doesn't it? So suddenly that foliage is a lot more vibrant. 100,061. Loads of you still ordering the Strelitzia regina, the bird of paradise. It's a great house plant, really spectacular flowers that do look like birds. They really, really do. And these are very expensive plants normally. And I know it's a relatively small plant right now, but really healthy in a 9 centimetre pot. But when that starts to produce those flowers, it will be so worth the journey. And Adam says he's one of our garden experts. His flowers every single year now, 800 005 at $4.99. And another item that we haven't shown you this morning, but these are one of the best garden helpers we've ever had. And I know, Bex, we both use these pretty every time we garden, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. They're multi-purpose, multi-use. Plant things in them. Use them as a garden shrub. Use them as your, tomatoes. I grew my tomatoes in there this year. They were fantastic. It's the item that you'll use the most.
I agree.
It's such a silly little thing, isn't it? But it's the thing that you will actually go to every single time you go into the garden. It is a pack of
3
today. Oh, it's a different pack this week. I like that, mixing it up. 130002. I love this. So decanting compost into it makes it so much easier than trying to get your hand into the bag and things. Transporting logs from outdoors to indoors. Really strong, sturdy handles on here. You've had yours for what, 15 years?
I reckon, yeah, I've never broken one.
I've never broken one.
And this time of year, there's lots of jobs to do in the garden, lots of tidying up, lots of pruning, lots of tidying up leaves.
Yeah,
and these are, loads of that. 30 litres, so you can store so much in there. Sometimes when my green bin is full, then what I'll do is I'll literally just store my leaves and my weeds and things in those heavy duty pots until the green bin is emptied. Yeah. We have to pay for our green bin in our area.
I know, me
too. Do you too?
Yeah.
So that's why I won't have 2 of them. Right. Now, absolute true story. A few weeks ago, we were doing some filming in my garden, and Stu, who is in charge of our technical, he handed me a rake. And he said, I want you to try this. I'd never used it before. Oh my word, right? I've never been so excited about a rake. It's available right now. This is a product that I think will go viral across the UK. Honestly, but it's new. So if you type in rake, because this has been selling really well today, just type in rake, because it's not on the show, but you can still get your club discount if you're a club member. It will come up, type in rake, and it will appear in your basket. But if you are looking for the ultimate rake, and I'm not just saying this is amazing, and the footage about to was genuinely my very first reaction to using this. I hadn't practiced, I hadn't tried it, but Stu was filming, I said, let's give it a go, and it is incredible. I promise you, one of the best products, and I've worked in shop and TV for over 20 years, one of the best products that I've ever seen. And I think it's brand new, but I think next year this will be massive. But you can get yours right now at this incredible price. But this is a genuine reaction to me using the rake for the first time. Now, I've only just discovered this from Spear & Jackson, and I am absolutely gobsmacked how good it is. First of all, it's really lightweight. So something like my mum who really struggles with any heavy equipment, super lightweight, but look at the size of it. I mean, what, is it twice, 3 times the size of my rake? And the great thing is, I mean, this is brilliant, watch this. You get so many leaves in one go, look at this. And it gets every one of them. Oh, like a kid with a new toy, I absolutely love it. That is amazing. I can do some more. I love it. Seriously, I've only just discovered this today. That is amazing. That is one of the best YouGarden products I have seen. So this rake gets even better because it's actually a 3-in-1. So if you want to use it as a smaller rake, then you just take the 2 side panels off. But the great thing is these become your giant hands, your leaf grabbers. So you can just look at this. This is the coolest rake I have ever seen. And it makes that tedious job of gathering up the leaves, and there's a lot of them if you live where I do in the country, but a lot of us have got trees or trees that overlook our garden. I think that deserves a round of applause, don't you? Love it. I'll just go back to my other one, right? Just to show you. So this is how I've been raking my leaves, and I lose the will to live. Look. It's like, it's really, really tedious. And yes, it does, I'm out of breath now. It eventually gets them up, but it's slow. And I often find that the leaves, they actually stick on there, they get stuck. Right, I don't have time for that, I'm a busy man. So are we ready? Here we go. Let's just do loads and loads of leaves in one go. Here we go. And it doesn't leave a single one behind. That is a really good product, isn't it? That's changed my life in autumn. So it is from Spire and Jackson. It's supersize. And it is one of, well, I can always say that is the best rake I've ever found for leaves. Superb. I wish I'd discovered it a long time ago. But anyway, at least I've got it for this autumn. Yeah, I fell in love with it, got one. And what people are doing right now, a lot of you are adding that to your order, and then you get your free delivery if you spend over £40. But we were just chatting. It is one of the best products I've ever seen. I know you don't really suffer from leaves in your garden.
No, I mean I get a few, but not so much. But yeah, I mean if you're doing lots of raking, I can totally see why that would be an amazing buy.
And like my mum is elderly, and she lives in the country in our village, and she gets leaves in her garden. For my mum to rake up leaves with a traditional rake, that would just finish her off, seriously. Yeah. So all you need to do, because we've only got a certain amount of stock at that amazing price, it is from Spire and Jackson, just type in rake, or the item number is 160484. So just jot that down now, 160484. And I'll just type in rake and it'll come up. But anybody that hates raking up leaves, I know I'm sort of like going on about this, but I was saying to Bex,
I haven't used it, but certainly looking at Shaun's reaction from it, I can see you're so excited about this rake.
And I just, you know, I worked on a shopping channel with Bex for many years, and
we were just saying if we were doing a show just on that, we'd spend a whole hour, wouldn't we, just raking stuff up?
Yeah. I'm not being funny, but that should be selling in its thousands. Yeah. But obviously, a lot of orders have gone to on our website. They really have. But get that today, because you will love that rake. And I mean it. So get it now. What is it again?
160484.
And remember, that will help get your order over £40, and you get free delivery. And am I right in saying, if you're a club member, would you get 10% off that?
Yeah, you'd still get your 10% discount off that. And Stu is saying to me, get people to price compare. Go and have a little search and do a price comparison. We've got an amazing price on this one.
Yeah, and tell
There's
your
a lot
friends.
more money elsewhere.
Spread the word. That is, I know, you can tell if you know me. I love it. I do. It's brilliant. It's a brilliant product. Wish I'd designed it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Wouldn't have to keep working then, would you?
I love work.
I know you do.
This isn't work, is it? This is great. So anyway, yeah. Let us know, in fact, because Bex is in charge of the group chat, let us know if you're buying that rake.
Yeah, please.
Please. Or if you've got any questions about that rake.
I do have some pictures I want to show in a little while, because I think it was Eleanor that sent the picture of her father's bird of paradise.
Oh, really?
Someone else sent a picture of their forsythia. I've forgotten all the names, but yeah, I'd like to show those pictures soon.
But get that rake today, you will love it.
Yes.
Guarantee it. And when you have your dream garden, Bex, and you've got lots of trees, You'll love that rake.
I love that rake.
You will. Right, we're going to move back to this whole table is basically double up for an extra £1. So it's mix and match. You get 3 plants, perennials, for $14.97. But for another £1, so if you spend $15.97, you get another 3 plants. So you get 6 in total. Amazing. And actually, Bex, I've noticed you brought in some that we didn't see earlier.
Yeah, so I brought up the phlox and the erigeron. But of course, there are 7 in total for you to choose from. So we've got the other 2 are...
Where have you put them?
Coreopsis and... Was it the Pampas? No, it wasn't the Pampas, was it?
Oh, no.
Oh, it was the Festuca.
It was
there
the Festuca, yes.
So the other 2
so
that you can't see here is the Festuca bluegrass and the Coreopsis.
Yes.
So what you need to decide is which 2 you want, basically. Put both of those into your basket, enter the code YGTV4324. 1 set of 3 will be a quid, which is absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Let's start you off with Shaun's favourite. It's definitely up there as one of my favourites as well. It's Vanda Banerian. It is the sort of see-through plant. So it gets lovely and tall, taller than me. It can get to a good sort of 6 feet in height, but it is, as Stu always says, borders without barriers. It creates this lovely sort of border, but something that you can still look through, something that pollinators absolutely adore, something that the Royal Horticultural Society have given their badge of perfect for pollinators, as well as the award of garden merit, and flowers for flipping ages.
It really
flipping
does.
ages.
And what is interesting, I mean, it does die down in the winter, but when it starts to grow in spring and summer, it almost grows overnight. I mean, the way this shoots up is incredible. And look how healthy these plants are. I mean, really rooty, really strong. What I tend to do, I do leave the flowers on over winter. Then there's a good chance that they'll self-seed and you get lots of free plants as well. But it just needs a sunny spot, well-drained soil. It is a brilliant plant, and it will... I see it as a chorus member. I mean, you probably never plant it by itself in a pot. I mean, you could do, but it works really well amongst everything else. It
plays nicely, doesn't it?
Now, something that I know you love.
I do love Coreopsis, actually. And yeah, Stu just said it plays well with verbena.
It
does. Do you know what? It would. Those 2 together would be incredible. And actually get a flower for a similar amount of time. I mean, Coreopsis probably a little bit earlier, coming in at around May time, but repeat flowering all the way through to September and into October as well. Another one that pollinators love. Only gets to about 50 centimetres in height. The yellow against the purple of the verbena would be perfect. Love it.
And I just think that is a joyous colour, isn't it?
It is. It's such a bright, sunshiny, gorgeous. That's it on the nursery earlier on this year, and it is fantastic.
God. Now again, fully winter hardy. Fully
winter hardy, has our a lifetime guarantee and got the award of garden merit from the RHS as well.
So again, they're a really good combination. So if you want to go for 3 of the Vanda Baneriensis, for another £1, you can then pop in 3 of the Coreopsis Early Sunrise, 568.90. Now also in this mix and match double up for £1 offer, we have got our mock orange Philadelphus, which is known as Snowbell. And this has actually been the most popular. And I'll tell you what, if you love fragrance, this is the most incredibly fragrant plants. And I don't like sickly fragrances. I don't like anything that's a bit overbearing. But this is more of a, we say it's a mock orange. It's, if ever you've polished your floors, like wooden floors with like an orange cleaner, it's a lovely fresh smell.
It's a nice citrus smell, but it's on the sweeter side of the citrus smell. Not sickly sweet, just a slight hint of sweet citrus that you've got here. Lovely double petals, you know, flowers on here. Gorgeous white blooms as well. We've been talking a lot about white flowers over the last couple of weeks because white works in any garden and with any other colour that you plant it with, and it really makes it and the other plants around it stand out. Gorgeous fragrance, only gets to about maybe 3 or 4 feet height and spread here, so a wonderful one to plant in a border somewhere. Does want a decent amount of sunshine. Part shade will be fine, but do make sure it's getting a decent amount of sunshine, and of course fully winter hardy as well.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. And somebody's just gone for 6 of these, by the way, 510, 522. Now there's 2 that we didn't show you earlier, and the first one is, well, I know this is carpet phlox because a lot of phlox are obviously upright. This one is a creeper. So a little bit like Abretia, it forms a clump, it's evergreen, and it flowers sort of like March, April time. And what I was amazed about when I planted mine in my garden, I don't know if I send you the picture, Bex? Although Stu might have it actually.
Stu might already have it. Or I can search
Oh, he has
for
got it. I'm sure he has. When it's on the corner.
It's probably in here. I'm going to search for it.
Right. So I planted mine a couple of years ago, and it grew so quickly, and it loves again a sunny, well-drained spot. But in springtime, just as your daffs are flowering and maybe your tulips, you get this carpet of colour. You get hundreds, if not thousands, of these. Oh, there you go.
I've got it already, Stu. I found it.
Yeah. Isn't it lovely, though?
It's beautiful. And I love what you've done with it here. The way that you've just put it against that gravel path. It softens that border slightly because it's just creeping out into the border there. It just softens it. It looks really, really
Doesn't
pretty.
it?
Love it.
I occasionally do get a few flowers in autumn as well, but not many. It's all about spring flying. But it's lovely. Really is. And say fast growing, a real spring favourite of mine. And you get 3 different varieties in there as well. Again, you might want to double up because it does work. It looks really good on mass. My mum's got a raised bed and she's got like railway sleepers, and we've just put it all along the edge of that.
And it just creeps over the edge. Yeah, nice.
It was really good, really good.
Very
so
nice.
Definitely recommend that. I know they don't. I said they don't look a lot now, and they're really healthy plants, but you will be amazed how quickly they grow. Fully winter hardy. They do like a sunny spot and well drained. And then something else that. Have you got this one? Yes, you have.
I have.
You've
so
got it with your Rosanna,
my Erigeron is planted next to my geranium Rosanna, and it grows in and amongst it, and it looks absolutely beautiful. Erigeron works in so many different gardens as well, so many different spaces. You've got a whole border planted with this, haven't you? Where it's you didn't know. It's a tricky space.
I've basically got an area that's it's like a building site. It was just full of rubble.
Yeah.
And I mean, at some point, I am going to dig it out because it's literally got because I live in a new build house. Certain areas were just left with like rubble and bricks and things, and there's one area that just was really poor soil, full of rubble. I did intend to kind of dig it all out and put some topsoil in and things like that, but I haven't got around to it, so I just covered it with this for the time being. It looks great.
It looks beautiful. Yeah. You get those different colours as well, by the way, so it opens up there's mine. Thank you, Stu.
I like that.
It looks so pretty, the two things together. Honestly, it's a happy accident. I didn't mean for it to happen, but in my next property I will definitely be doing that on purpose and a bigger, wider area of it.
I really like that.
Love the way that it works together.
That's
so
really
pretty.
sweet.
And you get the 2 colours on the Erigeron as well. So they come out of white and they sort of age to a pink, so you get both of them together. And no, it doesn't seem to choke either of the plants, do they work really nicely together. So yeah, it's nice.
Like
Good combo.
Then it's like the pink, the white and the blue looks really nice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Now, we've only got about half an hour left. Don't forget, on a Sunday, we are live now, 9:30 till 12:30. We're live on a Thursday, 10 till 1. Also, we do have various TikToks throughout the week as well. So we're live on TikTok this afternoon from 1:30 till 3:30.
1:30 till 3:30. Sure, yeah. And then, we'll be doing another one on Tuesday afternoon. I'll be here Tuesday afternoon doing that one. And then you'll probably do one on Thursday afternoon.
Yes. 2 till 4.
Yeah. So if you're not on TikTok already, it's the same as like Facebook and Instagram. Just download the app, set yourself up a profile, search for YouGarden. It's a slightly different way that we do things on there, but it's fun.
Yeah, and we're going to do it live from. Actually, should we?
No, we're doing it.
Oh, we're going to do it?
Yeah, we did it last week as well. So if you watched us last week, we were in the houseplant room. So we were in the greenhouse over there on the nursery, and we did it from there. And we're going to do the same this afternoon. It's nice. Liked it. Enjoyed it.
So we're going to be live from. So you get to see the greenhouse on the nursery. I say greenhouse. It's huge. Right, we better just. I don't know where the time's going today.
I know it's flying by, and I've still got some pictures to show as well.
Oh yes.
Let's go and have a look at these first, though, shall we? Because cottage garden. Let's do those ones first. We've got the buy one get one free offer on the cottage garden perennials. Now I know you planted these recently, didn't you? And they grow on so very quickly. It is a buy one get one free, so all you have to do is put 1 pack into your basket, enter the code. The other pack will get put into your basket as well. Which, if you're a club member, these work out at less than 50p each.
Now, if you might be a fairly new gardener, these are not difficult to grow. They're all hardy. So when they arrive, they arrive in 2 greenhouses in a nice big like brown cardboard box. All you need to do when you first get them is give them a good soak. Now make sure, because they'll all be labelled, so you don't want to mix them up. So just make sure. Look at the labels, so all listed there, and there's letters that correspond to that label there. So as you're taking each one out, just have a label ready, give it a good soak, and then I'm going to suggest planting them up in pots. Now, you could put them directly in beds and borders, but they're quite young plants. And the thing is, a lot of them are herbaceous. A lot of them will die down in the winter. So at this kind of size, you might forget where you've put them. You might accidentally dig them up during the winter. So personally speaking, grow them in pots and then plant them out in springtime. Now, I potted these about 2.5, 3 weeks ago, and they've almost doubled in size.
Yeah.
And you don't need a greenhouse because they're all winter hardy. But it's a very, very affordable way of getting amazing perennials. And this gives you a little idea. I mean, contents may vary slightly. We've got like a salvia there. But you've got delphiniums, you've got hollyhocks, you might get things like geums, verbena, baneriensis, aquilegias, campanulas, all sorts in here. Coreopsis, there'll be a real mixture, but they'll all be firm favourites. These are perennials that will be grown successfully in pretty much all gardens and give you colour and flowers from about May time right the way into October and November. And it isn't just about saving money. I mean, yes, the value is amazing. I mean, $11.69 for 24 plants. I know. But it is about that journey. And we as gardeners, and I know we're all gardening friends here, it is so rewarding when you take a plug plant and you watch it develop, and then next year and the year after you've got these huge perennials and you think, do you know what? I only paid 50p for that. Yeah. It's great, isn't it?
It's good fun, definitely. You get so many months worth of colour out of that as well, and it's, as Shaun said, amazing value for money too.
And a lovely selection. I mean, all of these are real favourites in the UK, some absolute winners there as well. Right.
Oh, that smell! It's Sunday afternoon right there. That's a roast dinner. Just that smell of rosemary is incredible. It's called Mrs. Jessop's Upright. It's a lovely, upright, shrubby rosemary here. Super easy to look after. Evergreen. Get gorgeous flowers on there in early sort of summertime as well. Really easy to look after. A little bit of trimming after flowering will help to keep it nice and bushy and compact too. But of course, you get the added benefit of being able to cut stems off here and use it in your cooking as well. I love nothing more than going into my garden and picking my rosemary, my thyme, my bay leaves, and then bringing it indoors to make something yummy with it.
Do you know what? All the supermarkets, they all sell fresh herbs, don't they? But they're not cheap. I mean, a little bag of herbs, you can pay a couple of pounds, whereas you can grow them your own rather, so successfully and so easily.
And these are super vigorous as well.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to wait long for this to establish. You know, it gets really established very, very quickly, and then you've always got your own supply of rosemary. But even if you're not using it in cooking, it is an attractive plant in its own right.
And I say a friend of mine's got a really big rosemary bush. I mean, it's like, you know, about at least 1 metre by 1 metre. It's been there years, but it looks great. Yeah. I remember sitting there in May, June time last year when it was in full flower, and I just thought, what a magnificent plant that is. So if you want to go for that, that's on my list today, $4.99, $4.49 if you are one of our many 40,000 club members. Now, a beautiful selection of hardy Japanese anemones are next. Absolutely gorgeous. And Bex and I were saying earlier, this is a plant that flowers when a lot of other things in your garden, a lot of the other perennials have gone over, a lot of summer bedding has gone over, and these start to come to life sort of like end of July, August, right the way through in October time. Yeah,
this is what I love about them, is the fact that they will keep those blooms going for you once summer is over and, you know, creeping into autumn time as well. That transitional plant where we want to keep those flowers going. They're quite easy to look after as well, so not much you need to do by way of, you know, pruning and maintenance and things. I would avoid moving them if you can. They don't particularly like disturbance, so decide where you're going to plant them and leave them there. They can sulk if you do decide to move them. It won't kill them. They will sulk a little bit. You are going to get the 3 gorgeous colours included, 2 of which have got the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. I just think they haven't got around to testing the white one.
Same here.
Because honestly,
it's really nice.
It behaves in exactly the same. It's just as good. But you've got the Whirlwind, which is white, Prince Heinrich, which is the one you're looking at right now, and the Queen Charlotte, which is that lighter pink colour. But a really long-lived perennial here. We're talking decades. Once you've got these in your garden and they're established, you can have them for decades.
And generally speaking, they don't need staking either.
No.
So they're self-supportive. They're lovely. They really, really are. Right, what else we got?
Garden readies.
Oh, yes.
Which I imagine we're getting to the end of bringing you garden readies. There's still time, don't get me wrong, absolutely still time to get your garden readies planted. And the Panza Matrix is a fantastic variety to get in your gardens because Matrix Mix has been bred to be more upright. So you get large flowers, but more upright flowers as well. So these are great for planting in the tops of hanging baskets, in the middle, or in the middle of pots, or even into your borders, because what you'll get are these beautiful upright flowers in the red, white and blue mix.
And if we get really, really cold days in winter, I mean, sometimes, you know, it's like you've got frost, you've got snow. Don't worry if you wake up one morning and these are like completely floppy and frozen, because it's amazing. These are hardy to at least -20 and they bounce back beautifully. So they are fully winter hardy. They're going to flower all winter long, and as Bexa said, they're a really nice upright variety with big flowers as well. 410-143. Now I mentioned about the passion flower. My mum's got a passion flower, and she had it in a pot in her old house for about 10-12 years, and we used to put it in the, I'll be honest, we used to put it in the garage during the winter because it had a little window there. And then about 2 years ago I put it in a border and it has gone crazy, and it is still flowering right now. Here it is. You know, sometimes plants really go wild. Well, this one has. This is a passiflora, and believe it or not, I mean, look, it does need trimming back. It's kind of taken over. It's covering this lavateria here, but this plant I actually cut back. You see what that green trellis is? I cut it back to about halfway up that trellis earlier this year, probably about March time, and that is the amount of growth that's taken place. And it's October right now, and that is still flying. And look at the buds. I mean, hopefully a lot of them will still come out, depends how cold it's going to be, but it is absolutely incredible. And the flowers are one of the most exotic flowers you can ever imagine. So yeah, you know, I know when you buy a passiflora you think, oh, is it ever going to get that big? This honestly has covered the whole of those fence panels and the whole of this border in just one season. It's amazing. I mean, isn't that the most incredible plant? And you are getting not just one. I mean, my mum's just got the lavender one there. You've also got the white and the pink as well. And I think you'll agree, one of the most exotic, beautiful climbers that you can successfully grow in the UK. So if you do want to go for those, you get all three today at just £14.97. Now, don't forget, we are also doing an offer on our Helix planters where you can choose any 6 and only pay for 2. So just go to the show page. If you're on our website, all you need to do is go to live right now, then all the products that are in the show will appear. And right at the very, very bottom, got so many good deals today. We've got the 3 different colours of the Helix planter. So you've got a silver, you've got a bronze, and you've got a clay available. And all you need to do is decide which 3 you want. So you might go for 2 of each, you might go for 6 the same, you might go for 3, 2, 1. But as long as you put 6 in your basket, you will only pay for 2. So you get amazing. So we'll just go for 6 of the clay there. View your basket. Oh, we've got loads now. Hey, we could buy all of them. But look, basically it takes the price down to £3. There you go. So we've gone for 6 of those, and it brings the price down to £3. You will get, I know most of you know this, but we always try and do a free gift. And your free gift today is a blooming fast, and that basically is really high in NPK, which means that every part of a plant is fed, from the roots to the shoots to the foliage and the flowers and the fruits, and also loads of great minerals and trace elements in there as well. Now, we love it when you chat to us.
We do indeed. Okay, so Eleanor. I'm going to show Eleanor's picture because obviously we're going to talk about the bird of paradise in a second. So Eleanor sent us a picture. She says, this is one of my dad's bird of paradise that bloomed earlier this year. He's 85 and has dementia, but we're so excited he made me take a photo. He either keeps them in his greenhouse or veranda and still loves to garden. And that is...
Oh, wow. Look. Oh, God, that just brings joy to my heart, doesn't it? How wonderful.
That is absolutely gorgeous. I love that he got so excited about it as well. That's really lovely.
What's Eleanor's dad called?
She didn't say.
No. Ellen, thank you, and thanks to your dad for that. That's brilliant.
Love it. Yeah, Dave was sharing cover bulbs in chili powder. Rodents don't like it. So this was earlier on. Somebody was asking us about deterring squirrels. Well, somebody else commented, feed the squirrels. Because if you feed them, they won't go looking for food. So you could put feed out.
Oh, that's a good idea.
You know, just let them eat stuff, because then they're not going to go ferreting and digging for bulbs. But Dave was saying, yeah, cover bulbs in chili powder. Rodents don't like it. But I suppose they've still got to dig down to it to find it. And then they go, ugh, I don't like it.
I guess they do. I mean, they've got a good sense of smell, so I guess this sort of...
Maybe they can smell it already.
Oh, that's good. Give it a go.
Good idea. And Amanda... We're going to come to the Forsythia in a... Have we got the Forsythia out?
Yeah, just at the end.
Have I?
Yeah.
Yes, I have. Forsythia. Sorry, just checking.
Okay. I've got better eyes than you today.
Amanda says, hi, here's my Forsythia I got from YouGarden a few years ago. It's so pretty, and this is February, March time. Yeah. This is exactly what I was talking about. February, March, dull, dull days.
Oh, wow.
Look at how beautiful that's going to look.
Do you know,
and this is the compact variety of the Forsythia as well.
God,
love it.
Love it.
Amanda, that's brilliant. Thank you for sending that picture.
Again, puts a smile on our face, doesn't it?
Gorgeous.
Right, just quickly, by the way, I mentioned earlier, sometimes it's the best time to order here at YouGarden out of season.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get some real good buys.
Definitely.
So, I mean, look, I'm not being funny. If it was June right now, June, July, we could be selling this £25 and we'd sell loads on our, obviously, our live stream and our website. It's slightly out of season, and to be honest, we could either keep the stock here all winter, but we would have to look after it. We'd probably have to repot these.
Yep. Or
we could give it to you today for $9.99 or $8.99 if you're a club member. So the value here is incredible. And I often will, I just love the bargain when it comes to gardening.
Yeah,
I really
too.
do. You're the same, aren't you?
Absolutely.
So that is a steal. And look at the size. I mean, these are really big. We say between 60 and 80 centimetres. I reckon this one, it's just straight from the nursery right now, is maybe even slightly bigger, but we guarantee between 60 and 80. And please don't be put off by buying a palm right now as we head into November, because these are winter hardest, we say about -6, -7. So one of the hardest palms.
Most areas of the UK, that's going to be absolutely fine. And if you are expecting those sorts of temperatures, easy to give them a little bit of protection. You know, tie the fronds up, like Shaun's showing you here, just for those really sort of prolonged, don't leave them like that all winter, but just do it for those nice cold bits, and then release them. A little bit of horticultural fleece, really easy to look after, but definitely a fantastic addition for the architecture that this is going to provide, and also those feelings of holidays that we need sometimes, don't we? When we can't afford to go on holiday.
You've just come back from your luxury holiday.
Shut up! And it was lovely. I love the Peak District. It's one of my absolute favourite places. I wasn't in sunshine though, was I? I wasn't drinking a lovely cocktail next to a pool.
Hang on, you said earlier you were in a brewery with pizza though.
True.
That's
I
all
did
right.
quite like that.
Yeah.
I did quite like that.
But I know what you mean. It's not the same as being abroad.
It's not, and this is what this can provide. It definitely gives you that feeling of holiday in your garden.
But grab it today. That price is amazing at $9.99, and that is 680005. You might even want to go for Pyrus. Just very quickly, because I know we're rapidly running out of time. Free postage when you spend over £40. Don't forget that amazing garden rake as well. It's been selling really well. And your free gifters are blooming fast. Now, you might be thinking, Shaun, I'm not going to be feeding my plants much in the winter. And we appreciate you feed them a lot less. But this keeps for a long, long time. And actually, things like your winter bedding, I really do still feed that about once a month. And as you head into spring, it's really important to really get on with your feeding for things like your winter pansies and all of your other winter bedding that you've got planted right now. But it's a brilliant plant food. Great for your houseplants, of course, as well. Pretty much everything. Any more people on the chat there, Bex?
Yeah, just a few people in the chat here chatting away. I love it. Elaine's saying how she loves buying out of season. It's the best time to do it, honestly. It really is. William is saying, I've got plenty of plants on my list, but can't order till I move. Shame, I'm missing some deals. Yeah, I understand that one, William. You're moving to Lincolnshire. I mean, it's a bit, I was going to say you're moving near us, but obviously Lincolnshire is a massive county.
But it might be near us.
Where am I moving to? Well, we're not definitely moving yet, but I'm getting itchy feet. I feel like it's time to move on. 10 years in this property. And my kid just passed his 11 plus.
Yay, how good is that?
So we might move closer to the school, basically. So I don't know yet. I'm having fun on Rightmove, looking at different houses. It's my favourite thing to do. I love looking at houses.
I love to do that.
Also, I want a different garden. I love my garden. I just want something a little bit different. Yeah. So we'll see.
You want something a bit bigger, don't you?
I want something a bit bigger.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I like the idea of something around the side, not just the gardens there. I like the idea of different spaces. So anyway, I'm looking. Julia was suggesting the perennials, you know, the buy one get one free perennial collection. Yeah. You could grow them on and give them as Christmas presents.
Great idea.
I love the idea of live, plants as Christmas presents. It makes me happy anyway.
Yeah, my favourite gift to receive is a plant.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, followed by a bottle of wine. Right.
Followed swiftly by a bottle of wine.
If you come around with both, I mean, you'd be really welcome in my house. Oh, happy birthday, Shaun. Here's some wine. Here's a plant.
Here's a plant. You can stay.
Right, really popular today, and I've got a couple of these, but mine have never flowered, but I've only had them a few years. The Strictia Regina Bird of Paradise, but I've always been fascinated by this. And whenever I travel abroad, Spain particularly, when you see these in flower in the Mediterranean, they're incredible. But you can grow them as a houseplant in the UK. Some people do put them outside in the summer months, which is fine.
Yeah, totally. In fact, a lot of your houseplants will like to go outside in the summer months. It's like going on a holiday. Why not? And it's
like
a great
you get to
one.
the Peak District.
Exactly. It's a great one to be able to do that with, but it is fantastic as a house plant. You get this gorgeous big leaves, and it's in a 9 centimetre pot right now, but that can get to a metre and a half, maybe even close to 2 metres in height. And then early in the year, so anytime between February and May, you can get these absolutely stunning flowers on there. Really easy to look after as well. There's no sort of regular pruning that you need to do with this. You might just remove some of the faded leaves, that's all.
But loves, as a houseplant, you want that nice warm room and a nice bright spot, don't you?
Definitely, bright spot and some access to direct sunlight as well. I wouldn't put it in a properly, south-facing, fully baked window, but definitely it's going to need a light, bright spot.
Yeah, and then fingers crossed when it flowers. It will take it. It'll
take a little while.
Yeah, it's a nice sized plant, but it is going to take a few years to get to flower. Now, we would love to see, if you've got any pictures of your bird of paradise in flower, we would love to see them before we finish. But loads of you ordering that right now. Not surprised, it's only $4.99.
Yeah, brilliant price. Brilliant price, definitely.
Right. This whole table is half price, isn't it?
Yeah, everything that you're looking at here is in the half price. We've got our beautiful Cercidophyllum japonicum.
Yeah, it's not easy to say that one.
Toffee apple tree. Let's go with that one, shall we? Now, it does have the most beautiful, elegant, heart-shaped leaves on here. They're slightly bronze tinted when they're young. They turn into a lovely green colour. And then this time of year, you get this amazing display. You get the oranges and the reds and the yellows in autumn, and they drop the leaves. And when you sort of walk on those leaves, you get the most gorgeous toffee apple, sweet toffee apple scent.
And it really is. We're not just exagerating.
No,
it actually
really
does smell like toffee apples. Kids love this.
It's a spectacular autumn display. It's a feast for the eyes, and it's a nostril feast as well.
And I do remember seeing this being featured on one of the big gardening programmes, and I do remember the presenter just walking through all the leaves and just being almost overwhelmed with that toffee apple smell. It's gorgeous, but it looks beautiful in autumn. 51267 will grow. I know it's only like it looks like a small tree right now, but it will grow into a proper tree.
Yeah, big tree.
Yeah, that's my impression of a big tree. You can tell I went to drama school, can't you?
I went to drama school. Be a tree.
Yes, woo! Yes, those lessons weren't wasted.
That took me right back.
Didn't me? Right, now, one of my absolute garden highlights right now, my pampas grasses. I've got both of these. I know Bex has got the pink one, but you just planted this year. I've got the pink and the white. The white's been in there about 3 years, and it's got about 60 or so plumes right now.
That's amazing.
Yeah, in 3 years.
On the one plant?
On the one plant.
That's incredible.
Yeah. But it's in the right spot, so it needs space.
Yeah.
This one.
Sun and space, yes.
And well drained.
Yeah.
Doesn't mind exposed, so great for coastal areas as well, but it really wants a sunny spot and well drained. They are evergreen, by the way, so you still got great foliage all year round. But the plumes, in fact, I brought one in, didn't I, Bex?
Look, there you are, look. Next to you.
And that's, I mean,
Look at it.
3 years old.
The shape of that is incredible as well, and that's not something, not to do you any disservice.
Wait,
but
so
that's
I'm out of shape?
It's got absolutely nothing to do with you as to how it's grown in that beautiful shape.
No, it hasn't.
You plant it, put it in the nice sunny spot, and it naturally grows into that gorgeous shape.
Now, dried pampas grasses right now are really popular again. The garden centres are full of them. You spend about £10 a plume, but you can actually. I took this one off this morning, and I'm going to. I mean, it's fairly dry now, but I'm just going to put it in the greenhouse.
Hang it upside down.
Yeah. I've never done it before. That's apparently what you use. I'm going to do a bunch of them. Apparently, you tie them together upside down for about a month, and then they should last you for 2 or 3 years. And actually, and I'll have to check it out, but I think you can make them last longer by putting a bit of hairspray on them as well.
I believe you can.
Yes.
I've heard that as well. Yeah, you can spray them.
Yeah, now I've never used hairspray, obviously, in my life, but I'll give it a go for the first time with my Pampas.
Why not? Tickle and stick.
Oh, by the way, if you've got a cat, they love them as well. Yeah. When I'm ever trying to get my cat in, all I do is literally chase it, go around the garden with the pampas grass. He soon finds it, and that brings him in. So yeah, but you get a white and a pink. The pink's a lot rarer, actually.
I like the fact that we've done a pack here where you get both of them. That's brilliant.
Amazing value, by the way, £6.49. Right, Echinacea, green twister next.
Yeah, brilliant one, this one. Echinacea I love because the flowers on Echinacea last for such a long time. Once those flowers come through, and they normally come through sort of right in the middle of summer, so June, July, August time, that's when the flowers come there. You get repeat flowers on there as well. But they last ages on the plant. Good 6 weeks, I reckon, I got from my Echinaceas. They just stay looking amazing for ages. Pollinators love them. You can see that from that central cone, and that cone in the centre, it's so sturdy.
Yeah, it's like solid, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. It's really, really solid. But yeah, pollinators absolutely adore it. RHS have given it their Perfect for Pollinators badge, but really, really easy to look after. Honestly, plant it, sit back, watch it. That's kind of it with these.
And again, we do consider them winter hardy. Just make sure they don't get waterlogged.
Yeah.
And to be honest, that's a general rule. Last winter was exceptionally wet, and you just want to try and avoid that if you can. So do bear that in mind. And then we have got over here, we talk about the Forsythias. We have got a Forsythia today, but this one is a brand new variety, which is more compact. It only goes about 80 centimetres to a metre. But like all Forsythias, flowers sort of early springtime, end of winter, early spring, and all the flowers come out in mass before the leaves. Do you know what? You never see a Forsythia with like just a smattering of flowers. They're always covered, aren't they?
Always covered. And when this comes out, it is one of the standout plants. You know, it's like I say about Ceanothus, how in May time that's the standout plant, that's the one you look at. This is the standout plant end of February and into March time. It is the thing that has the most colour on it at that time of year, and it's beautiful. It's this gorgeous bright red colour. It's not fussy about soil type. As long as it's well drained, it's perfectly happy. And I just love the fact that it is that slightly more compact variety. You know, Forsythias, they can get 3 metres height, maybe even 4 metres.
Proper trees.
Yeah, but this should only ever get to about 1 metre by 1 metre. So it's perfect for our more modern, smaller gardens. But if you just want a perfect specimen plant in a pot, this would look great. And
again, if you are going in a pot, I like the fact that because it is deciduous, it does lose obviously its leaves in the winter. I love the fact that you can just put it to one side when it's not looking its best, but give it centre stage when it's in flower. So if you want to go for that one, that's really good, isn't it? $4.99. It's really good.
I love this table. Love a half-price table. That's the best thing ever.
And then don't forget, so Bex and I, we are going to be live on TikTok this afternoon from 1:30 till 3:30, and we're going to do it from the houseplant nursery. So we've got a big greenhouse basically full of houseplants. So we're going to. Is it going to be really warm, Bex, in there?
It was toasty in there when I went in this morning. So yes, I would imagine it will be.
Yeah.
It's nice and warm in there. And if you want to buy from TikTok, you can do, but you don't have to at all. If you want to just come and watch us and then come to YouGarden, it's entirely up to you. You go wherever you get the best price, basically.
But don't forget, if you use that offer code, whatever you've got in your basket, whether it be something on the show or not, you still get all of the offers, all the promotions. You still get free postage when you spend over £40 and your free gift, which is the Blooming Fast today. We just want to quickly remind you of this gorgeous houseplant.
I love it. It's
really nice, isn't it?
So it's called Cupido. It's a peace lily, basically. So it's a slightly more compact variety of peace lily. It's still going to get to a decent size, though, honestly. It starts off life like this, but it can get to a good sort of 70 centimetres, 60, 70 centimetres centimetres height and spread here. Love the way it grows. You get this sort of up and out growth up at the top there. Beautiful white flowers on there, really long lasting. But I think this is a great house plant for anybody, but particularly people who are new to it, because this actually tells you when it needs watering. And that can be the biggest problem people have with houseplants, is knowing when to water. This one tells you.
Yeah. And a lot of the times, certain plants will exhibit the same signs of stress when they're overwatered, underwatered. Not with this one. When it's underwatered, it flops, and it does it really quickly. And don't panic. I mean, I've sometimes looked at mine and went, oh my word, look at the state of that, you know, when I've come back from holiday. But water it within an hour, it's amazing.
Perks right back up again.
We haven't got a slow motion video of that.
I think, did Stu do that?
Did you do one, Stu?
It's on TikTok,
Because I thought I'd seen one.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But as Beck said, really easy to grow and only $4.99. Houseplants make such a difference, don't they?
They do. They do just with how they make you feel. But actually, they're air purifying as well, so they can remove toxins from the air in your homes.
I think in wintertime, when you've got obviously closed doors, closed windows, really important to have that. So if you want to go for it, it's only $4.99 to have $4.49 if you are one of our club members. You're holding on to that dog, aren't you, Bex?
I love him. He's very, very cute. This is our lovely Scotty dog. He is he's a doorstop. He weighs 1.5 kilos, which means obviously he needs to weigh a decent amount to be able to hold the doors open. Very, very. I mean, if you've got a Scotty dog, that would be very cute, wouldn't it? If you haven't got a Scotty dog, it doesn't matter. He is super cute. He's got his lovely little bell. He's got his little tartan collar on there. Love that little tongue sticking out. Made of really good quality, thick, heavy fabric there too. But just a brilliant price on this one at £14.99. £13.49 if you're in the club as well, because you get that extra 10% discount. And I think if you have been looking and doing a bit of price comparisons, as Shaun said earlier, this is a great price.
I went to Garden Centre this last week and they had doorstops, you know, different animals, and they were around about £40. And I don't think they were any better quality than our Scotty dog.
He's
I really
great
don't.
quality.
Really good quality. He's not fire retardant though. Do bear that in mind. So you don't put him next to an open fire or anything like that. But he'll serve a purpose in terms of keeping doors open. And actually, quite often when at Christmas time when you're entertaining, you tend to. Are you the same? I tend to open up the house a bit more. You do, don't you? Because you know, especially having a party and things, it's gonna be absolutely superb. And only £13.49. Right, just quickly, because we are nearly out of time, loads of you ordering our decorative mulch today as well. And we have got this, it's our ornamental spruce bark mulch. UK produced this one, by the way. I've just recently used it in parts of the pub garden, and it is amazing how it tidies everything up. So it's going to suppress weeds, it's going to give certain tender plants a little bit of extra protection, but most importantly, it just tidies areas up. So just make everything look a bit more uniform, stopping the weeds coming through. Great for children's play areas as well. Great in terms of making it a lot easier for you to walk across your gardens as well. And don't forget, if you want that amazing garden rake from Spire and Jackson, it's one of the best products that we've seen in a long time. Just type in rake on our website and the Spire and Jackson 3-in-1 rake will come up. That was great, Bex, wasn't it?
Lovely. Yeah. Glad to be back. It's been weeks since we've been in here together.
I know, yes. I've been on holiday, Bex has been on a holiday. But yeah, we are back together this Thursday from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock. And we'll have lots of different plants, but whatever you're buying today, use that code YGTV4324. Right, we better get some food, do you think? Food,
and then come and join us on TikTok from 1:30 this afternoon.
Yeah, and we're going to be in our houseplant nursery, so you get to see that as well. So from myself, Shaun Ryan, and Bex Edwards, we will see you hopefully later on this afternoon.
Bye.